To call us back. What are you guys doing? I told them I've talked to him twice in 4 months. Good luck.
God, can I do it? Can I take the Broncos minus 2.5 and look at myself in the face ever again?
It's funny. I had the same conversation with myself 5 minutes ago on the other side of that. I said, can you live with yourself betting money on Zach Wilson? And I couldn't.
I had a feeling on the Thursday. I'm taking it. Give me Denver minus 2.5.
Okay, yo. By the way, I got a feeling. I got an upset special.
I had it last night.
I know you did. You chickened out. You should take the Bears and the points.
The win's a win.
You stopped just short of calling for the upset.
It was their New England game.
I did text Pat something, and I said, take the Bears +6. And he simply texts back, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
His career was before my life, baby Jules. Everything I know about Butkus is from NFL films. And my father.
And Miller Lite commercials.
The one thing my dad used, he used to spit down the center's back. That's my favorite thing about Butkus. Would just hawk loogies down the center's back.
He used to spit on the football, right on the center's hand. He was asked one time, he said, do you try to kill people out there and hurt them? And he goes, no. He goes, unless it's important, like a league game. On the tin can, baby. Sin City, we got it. Lost wages.
Try it a third time, Roger.
Yep.
See if you can get them both spelled right.
I was going to say, because you got nearly banned from that last one.
Right.
A Commanders fan just texted me and said, did that really happen last night, or was it a dream? No,
it happened. You're not good.
I just text him back, go Orioles.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you. It's the first Friday in October, but it's still a football Friday.
Football Friday.
How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Fired up, baby. Really good college weekend and a solid NFL weekend. And we started it off with an upset on a Thursday night, huh? Anything's possible, baby. Anything's possible. The Rams are going to beat the Eagles. The Cardinals are going to beat the Bengals. You got it? Yeah, it's that kind of a weekend. Hell, the Gators are going to score more than 20 points. I mean,
Whoa.
crazy things are going to happen. Morning. How are you?
I'm good. Fired up for the weekend. I had a big day yesterday because, I'm Mr. Mom. I'm the one that runs my daughter to the practices and to the games and to all of that stuff.
Right.
And we had a game scheduled for 1:00 tomorrow. That doesn't work. Right.
On a Saturday? Who's running this damn league?
Phenomenal question. But I give it up to our coach because not only it was a road game. The games are really close to where I live, right? Right up the road, about 1.5 miles from my house. Bada bing, bada boom. This game was 20 so miles away.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
And they convinced the other team to take the road game, make it a home game for us and play it tonight. So we're not in the middle of the heat at 1:00 on Saturday. So the Saturday game got moved to Friday night lights for the girls. And Dad gets to watch college football at noon on Saturday.
All in the name of player safety. And that's why this was done, too. Don't you kid yourself. This was not done so that dads could have their college football Saturday. This was done, the kids, their well-being, the heat. We're not used to the heat in Florida. I mean, we got to protect against that, right? Especially in October. Man, is it brutal. Yep.
Hey, I don't care what the reasons are. At noon, I get to sit down in front of the television and watch college football.
Oh, I know.
And the daughter can do whatever she wants.
Just waiting for somebody to go, hold on a second. Wait, why are you guys doing this again? It's not important. You don't want to know how the sausage is made, okay? Just eat the damn sausage.
But I was fired up to get that news last night.
Man, I mean, I'm a little surprised because you've been so good on Thursdays and Mondays. I have a feeling that last weekend it scared you because you had a really bad weekend last weekend. And notice you won on Monday. Your one win last week was on Monday.
Oh, absolutely.
Thursdays and Mondays, I don't think you missed a game. And during 4 commercial breaks yesterday, what did you say?
Bears.
You thought the Bears were going to win.
I thought the Bears were going to win. I thought this was their game against New England from a year ago, that when they've been told how much they suck, how bad they are, how easy the victory is for their opposition, that they're picking first overall in the draft, that sooner or later professionals react to something like that and play a competent football game.
But on the air, how far did you go?
Take the Bears and the points.
Right. And I think if you had even a modest weekend the weekend before, you would have been like, I'm calling for it. But because Saturday and Sunday was an avalanche against you, I think it scared you off your pick. You should have realized it's Thursdays and Mondays. You're perfect this year. Perfect.
No, you may be right. I probably should have played the money line last night instead of just taking the points. But either way, big win for the Bears, huge loss for the Commanders.
Well, once again, I mean, we love Magic on this show. You love him more than I do because the whole Michigan State thing and what have you. But we love Magic. But what is so predictable? Okay. Any team that Magic has $1.37 invested in, the minute they lose, it's like, let's put a microphone in front of Magic. Boom. So sure enough. And listen, even if it wasn't Magic and his personality and what have you, if you had put a microphone in front of any owner after that performance last night, I think you would have gotten good quotes. But Magic, as soon as the game was over, he made sure he found the cameras and the cameras found him. And he let them know that, unacceptable, didn't play with any fire. And if I was a coach, I think I would just say to the wife, listen, you probably need to, start collecting boxes and make some plans and what have you. I just don't think this is going to end well. I just got a feeling. Magic wants us fired the first week of October. I just, when he wants changes, whenever he's associated with something, there's usually hell to pay. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Magic's coaching this team by Thanksgiving. That's usually how it goes. I mean, seriously, Mark, every time Magic's got any financial investment in a team, he takes over it and makes major changes. Whether they work out or not, it's irrelevant. Magic wants to blow it up. First sign of adversity, Magic wants to blow it up.
Ron Rivera,
he's done.
Does not bode well for you, sir.
No, it really doesn't. It's the wrong guy to become a minority investor in your team. Really, Magic's like George Steinbrenner when he bought the Yankees and he said, I'm going to be a silent owner. He did. He said it. If you ever find the clip at his press conference, George Steinbrenner said he's going to be a silent owner. That's Magic as a minority investor. Okay.
He likes to tear it down, David. He likes to fire a coach in year one.
And now Bears fans are thinking that this team that they literally could not light on fire enough before the game, now they're thinking that they were inspired by the passing of Dick Butkus and they really are Bears, okay? And they played with the passion of number 51. Gotta love fans. Gotta love fans. Like Dick Butkus inspired Justin Fields last night. Come on now. You think maybe they just got tired of losing?
They're professionals.
Right.
In all sports, you can't consistently beat up on a team before they react. At some point, they will show up. And last night, the Bears showed up.
Remember, they were up 21 the week before. They are trying. They're just not very good. They were good last night. They were good last night. And by the way, the team they beat took the earlier. No, really, they did. I got it right here on the score sheet and everything. In fact, I saw the touchdown pass to send it to overtime. I was having brunch with my mom. I'm like, wow, Commanders should go for 2 here. That's the NFL. Let me get this straight.
It's a quick turnaround. They played a really that was the other part of my reasoning. They played a really physical game, and emotionally, they put a lot into that game against the Eagles. And I know they're professionals, but it's tough to play the Eagles to overtime and then get up for the Bears 4 days later.
Well, they didn't. I mean, 27-3 at the half. They were down. They clearly were not up and ready to go.
And I know Bears fan probably didn't go to bed at halftime. I did.
I did also.
And I thought about that because you gave me a hard time last Thursday in which the Lions had a comfortable lead, and I didn't go to bed until mid-fourth quarter.
Right.
Why? Because I've watched the Lions blow games my entire life. And Bears fans probably going to me, you went to bed. You really thought that was over.
I will say. So I made the decision. This game's over. I'm going to bed. But it took me a few minutes, get settled. Wife wanted to talk about something and what have you. And next thing you know, about 15 or so minutes has gone by. Well, NFL halftimes are 12 to 13 minutes. So I made the mistake of doing the one thing that, I have to do before I go to bed. I just checked the score. Washington went right down the field, scored, tacked on a 2-point conversion. It was 27-11. And for a split second, I went, should I get up and watch this game?
I wouldn't have gone to bed. If I would have seen that, I would have stayed up. I tell you that right now.
And so I said, no. Even though they blew a 21-point lead last week, they are not going to blow a 24-point lead tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you because I have a little technical difficulties here on my end, David.
Oh, well, I'm used to that. Hell, I can tell you how to handle that.
There we go. My headsets completely went out on me. I thought it was you. In two different spots, I'm like, Moulton's mic's not working again.
Let me tell you
But
something.
then mine wasn't working either, so I knew it was on my end.
I am sitting here in the middle of a $60,000 war zone known as my condo. My stuff better work. This better be on your end, buddy. The last month, it's all been my end. It better be on your end now.
Turn it on, turn it off again. We get things working really quickly around here. Engineering 101.
That teach Trent that. Okay, we're breaking in a producer, Trent. Teach Trent. Okay, I know you took him to lunch yesterday. Did you tell him about turn it on, turn it off?
That's the first. I think that's the first thing in the guide for us. That's the first thing in the worker productivity. When in doubt, turn it off, turn it back on again.
Yep, totally. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It works. Computers, phones, you name it. So, listen, the football week has started with the Bears winning a game. The Bears. We are going to have insanity reign over the next 3 days.
Don't tell me that. I've got a lot of favorites picked again, David.
Of course you do.
Just hoping they're the right ones.
Lee Sterling makes his picks at the top of the hour. Pat Kirwan to discuss all things NFL. We'll reflect on the passing of Dick Butkus. Miller and Moulton to make their picks. I mean, Mark's not going to have 2 losing weeks in a row. And I'll tell you what, I'd fade me like I'm going to have 4 winning weeks in a row.
We're back, baby. Here it comes. You're having a winning week. I'm having a winning week.
Whatever.
We'll roll through this thing. Take a look at the NFL schedule and a great college football weekend as well. All upcoming on a Football Friday right here. Miller and Moulton. Thanks for listening on the Florida Sports Network.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hampton Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Hey, go Raiders. I have to admit, that's you can really pick someone in that series to root for? Don't you just sit back and watch? Though I have to admit, my love affair with Michael Jack Schmidt has always made me have a soft spot. And I loved Utley and Rollins. And if the Mets had on those teams had either one of those guys, they would have won at least one World Series. I love sons of bitches. I really do. Those are the guys I want on my team. I want the opposing team to look across and go, man, I hate playing against these guys. Plus, this is the soft spot for Miller and Moulton. We like greatness. We admire it. And we're willing to acknowledge it, even if it's like one of our arch rivals. No, I understand. Well, Roger Boltzmann, I mean, that's true. Like, if Clemens had thrown that bat at Utley or Rollins, the Phillies would have kicked the Yankees' ass throughout that whole series. There would have been 15 guys who got hit with pitches, and yes. And that's with nice guy Charlie Manuel as manager.
Yes, they are ambient by 2.5. Connor Bedard looks like he's 14.
Apparently, they're selling tickets like crazy.
He should be. He's going to have 30 goals and 90 points this year. They're going to be god-awful, but he's going to be worth watching every night.
My hockey team's got problems. The young guys are counting on are hurt and screw it and suck. Yeah.
We got about 30 seconds.
Whatever.
Charming. Absolutely charming.
I'm just like Joe Buck coming back from a break. 30 seconds.
13 seconds now, David. You want me to count you down?
I got a time. Oh, I hate countdowns. I got time to go get a coffee if I got 13 seconds.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour of the starting five in less than 20 minutes. Lee Sterling coming up at the top of the hour. You know, I probably should have warned you. Done a little in-show producing. But you and I don't do that sort of thing. That's why Miller and Moulton sounds the way it does. But has there ever been a better name associated with an athlete playing a position than middle linebacker Dick Butkus? I mean, if he didn't become the player and personality that he was, don't you think just his name alone would have forced him to become what he became? Son, you're a middle linebacker. Your name is Dick Butkus. Okay? You have to growl. You have to spit. You have to be mean. I just think it was just one of the all-time great matchings of name, position,
and place that he played.
Never left the state of Illinois. Played his college ball at Illinois. Played for the Bears. Took Illinois to a Rose Bowl, by the way. Finished third for the Heisman. Now, granted, that was when they actually voted for somebody who wasn't a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. But still, I won the Rose Bowl, actually, at Illinois.
Think about that.
Say that out loud. Woody Hayes was in Columbus when Dick Butkus and the Illini did this, by the way.
Bo, not yet in Ann Arbor, though.
No, he wasn't. No.
I mean,
No. They weren't that team up north during those times. They were, they were just Michigan. But Dick Butkus. But his career was over. He only played 9 years, too. For the legendary status that he has. And he made the All-60s decade team and the All-70s decade team. He only played 5 years in one decade and 4 in the other. His career ended at 31 because of a bulky knee. And the funny thing, Mark, is he sued the Bears and they settled. He blamed the Bears and their how he was treated for ending his career. He sued him for $1.5 million 50 years ago. That's a lot of money. And George Halas was notoriously cheap.
And he stayed loyal to the Bears, and they stayed loyal to him despite of that. I mean, That is pretty remarkable when you think of particularly that era with the owners and the way that they, quite frankly, treated their players, because it wasn't very well.
No. Apparently, Butkus and Halas for 5 years didn't talk. For basically the rest of the 70s, they didn't talk. And right around the time that he was inducted in the Hall of Fame and what have you, him and Halas reconnected, which was good because Halas would only live a short time afterwards. And yeah, he was at opening day for the Bears, or at least their home opener. All right, passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 80. Dick Butkus. And not only that, Mark, he played a position. It's like with Jim Brown. How the NFL game has changed can literally be personified by the passing of those two icons. What was the game when they played it? It was a tailback and a middle linebacker. Those were the two sexy positions. The NFL was made up of halfbacks and middle linebackers. Namath, Unitas, Namath. There were a few sexy quarterbacks, but you go back to NFL Films, Mark. What was NFL Films all about? Halfbacks and middle linebackers. And toughness. That was the
You don't really see a Butkus highlight unless there's a lot of mud.
No.
There's some portion of grass in his helmet.
It's true. So did it always rain before the Bears played? I mean, what
Right.
the heck?
Right.
I mean, did the grounds crew go out and water the field? It's too dry.
Doesn't seem like they ever played in 64 and sunny, if you know what I mean, David. It was more like 46 degrees with a mist.
Well, I think he also, mid 60s into early 70s, I think they were still playing games at Wrigley, weren't they? But, man, Dick Butkus. And, of course, I mean, I didn't see Dick Butkus play. He retired when I was 8. You were, what, 4? All right, but yet we feel like we know what his whole career was all about. Why? NFL Films.
NFL Films and my dad. My dad loved Butkus. Loved how nasty he was. The fact that he'd spit on the ball and spit down the back of a center's neck and had no problem. Would stand over the damn center and just spit.
Mick Tingelhoff of the Vikings, I remember him telling a story about Butkus spitting on his hands before he's ready to snap the ball. Could you imagine doing that today?
No.
Man. But what a great name, position, personality match. Middle linebacker Dick Butkus. That voice.
That's the most impressive, most important. He's really the most important Chicago Bear.
Whew. That's interesting. They never made the playoffs during his 9 years, too.
I understand, but will you go to Chicago? Well, you won't go to Chicago this year because they'll flex out of that. Or are you stuck in an early game going to Chicago?
I don't think we go to Chicago. We're going to have the Bears, I think, at the Vikings, and I think we have a Bears game, but it's not in Chicago.
Okay. But if you went to Chicago, you'd see as many 51s as you would anything else.
Oh, it's true. I mean, you still see 51s and 34s. Yeah. I mean, I would argue Hallis is the most important Bear if he counts as a Bear. But
okay, but as far as Bears players,
it's
what are they known for?
Monsters of the Midway. Defense.
And from Butkus to Singletary to Urlacher, it personifies who they are.
And I talk about all the time, growing up a Giants fan, there's a way we like to win. Just like Dolph fans want to win the Marino way. They want to win 38-28. Giants fans, Bears fans, I think deep down Steelers fans, okay, we honestly would like to win a game 17-13. That's why
and pound you into submission while doing so.
Right.
I mean, physically maul the opponent. To be tougher than the team that you play. That's what the Bears are about.
But it is remarkable that Butkus and Sayers are as beloved as they were, and their teams didn't win.
I mean, as someone from Michigan, Barry Sanders is beloved. They didn't do a whole lot of winning there.
No, I know, but they actually did more than what the Bears did under Butkus and Sayers, but you're right.
When it's all you got, it means that much more. I'm telling you. When there's no hope and there's no winning, you have to have someone to cling to, and that's what the Bears did. Miller and Moulton, the starting five, coming up next right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Myers.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Poll question. What are we thinking?
Pick
Soft
a game.
shell, hard shell.
Ooh, let's see what national day it is today. National Coaches Day, David, just in case you were wondering.
National Coaches Day.
Yeah, which coach gets fired first?
I was going to say, in honor of National Coaches Day. God, that's funny. That's funny.
You know, that's what this Jets-Broncos game is actually for, Mark. To figure out who's getting fired.
Salah's not getting fired.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Neither's Peyton, but you're.
Oh. Let's see.
All those reports that they lost the locker room, though, it is a little alarming.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus was reportedly getting fired last night, too. No, Roger. I think I'm 3 miles from the stadium. I don't know. Let me check. Not exactly sure where the hotel is.
All I've got is on honor of National Coaches Day. Who's the first coach that gets fired? We want to be the nice. Who would you want coaching your team?
How about this question? Is Belichick still the best coach in the NFL? Who's the best coach in the NFL?
Belichick, Reed.
Tomlin?
No.
Not anymore.
I don't know if he ever was.
They're always relevant.
He's a Hall of Famer. His record's actually better than Cowher's. Not that a Steelers fan will acknowledge that. Pete Carroll? Nick Saban? You want to put that up there? Who's the best football coach? Who's the best active football coach?
Yep.
Belichick, Reed, Saban.
Do we put other just to? Oh, my goodness. The Swam Show just reposted ACC football Catch the Fever with pictures of Stanford and Cal's crowds.
Was that Swaim?
Yeah, the Swaim Show. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just retweeted. It's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
No doubt, Roger. No doubt.
Back in 30 seconds.
We're going to drink, David.
Okay. Guys, I'll be right back.
Thanks, Joe.
And as Troy would say, don't worry, guys. If he's not back in time, Trent will take care of it.
So in honor of Natural Coach Day, who is the best active football coach? Head football coach. All right.
Oh.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. That's when Lee Sterling joins us to make his picks. By the way, his game of the week this week, Niners Cowboys. Huh? I'm going to give you that one for free. I want to tune in 20 plus minutes for that. Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Hey, it's the end of week 3 of our Shape Up. How we doing?
Well, I've got to say, it was almost a cheat day. It was really close, David, because I wasn't paying attention. You were, and you even texted me, poll question, as I was reaching into the Oreos to grab 4 more bags.
Double stuffed?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I turned you on to that. I'm really negatively affecting your life, aren't I?
Just my daughters. It's positively affecting my life. The wife and the daughter have had enough with how much I eat. But today is National Coaches Day.
Okay.
I check this National Day calendar every day because sometimes that'll give us a freebie. Sometimes that'll just lead us right to an easy poll question. And today is National Coaches Day.
We missed our layup poll question earlier in the week. It was Taco Day.
Yeah, Wednesday was National Taco Day, which so many people commented in the Twitch chat room, and they are absolutely 100% correct. And shouldn't National Taco Day be the first Tuesday in October? How can you have a Taco Day on a Wednesday?
It's a dadgum good point.
It's a great point. Inarguable. But in honor of National Coaches Day, who is the best active head football coach in football? Or head coach in football? Not to be redundant there.
So, obviously, you got to put Belichick in that question.
Right.
Yeah, you got to put – we're talking football, so we're talking NFL and college?
NFL and college.
Huh. Well, then Saban's got to be in the question.
Right. And I think Andy Reid's got to be in the question.
I would agree with that. Sure.
And I don't know if we want to put an other category for someone who doesn't think that any one of these 3 is the best coach, or if we just leave these 3 up.
You think putting Billy Napier as D would be out of place?
I do.
Okay.
I'd slightly.
Okay. Any thought about Tomlin or Carroll, or are they just, a notch below?
I think they're a notch below. I think these are the big 3.
Okay.
I think we can just go with these 3.
Dabo, Kirby, they're at 2, but, we need them to, get the number needs to be even more crooked is what we're saying. Okay. Gotcha. But I'll tell you what, you put Kirby Smart on a list like this, he's insufferable now. Oh, my goodness. Whew.
So Belichick, Reid, and Saban.
That's solid. That's solid, if I do say so myself.
There it is. FL Sports Network on Twitter. X. It'll be at that Mark Miller and the David Moulton in a matter of moments.
Yeah. I'll retweet that one. I'm not embarrassed by that one. 19 minutes before the hour. All right. Time for
The Starting 5. 5 stories you need to know. It's the Starting 5 on Miller and Moulton. Here's number 1.
The Chicago Bears won a game last night, and it counted in the standings. For the first time in 346 days, the Bears won the game. Justin Fields, for all of you that said he can't play, I don't know. He could last night. 282 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Chicago led 27-3 at the half. Their defense recorded 5 sacks, held the Commanders to 29 yards rushing. Did you see the stat, by the way, in this game? I had it, and I think I just lost it. But,
how do you lose a stat?
Well, because it was on Twitter, and then I forwarded what was on Twitter, and so now I lost it. But I believe, yes, from the 8:49 mark of the second quarter, the Washington Commanders ran 55 plays in the final 2.5 quarters of the game. Every single one of them was a pass. They did not call nor execute a running play for the final 38 minutes and 49 seconds of the game. 55 consecutive pass plays, they called. They've been keeping track of this for only 17 years. No one else has ever done that. So they only ran the ball 10 times in the whole game. 55 consecutive pass plays. Hell, at the time they were down 17-3, I think, when that stretch started. 40-20 Bears, first win of the season. A loss for the Commanders. Oof. They fall to 2-3. Dick Butkus, legendary Bear, legendary NFL linebacker, passed away in his sleep yesterday morning at the age of 80. Played 9 years in the league. Yes, his legend is that of somebody who played twice as long on the NFL All-60s decade team and on the All-70s decade team. Led Illinois to a Rose Bowl win, finished third in the Heisman. Think about that. Played his entire football career in the state of Illinois. Dick Butkus. Has there been a better name for the position and a personality in sports history? Dick Butkus was 80. College football last night. Liberty proves to 5-0. They edged Sam Houston 21-16. Sam Houston's 0-5. So that's not a cover.
No. Give me Liberty and lay the points did not work.
But Western Kentucky covered, laying 6. They beat La Tech by 7 to improve to 4-2 on the season, 35-28. Couple of games tonight. If you believed that the Bears won because of the passing of Dick Butkus, don't you then have to bet Illinois tonight hosting Nebraska? Just saying. 8 o'clock on FS1. And K-State, Oklahoma State, 7:30 on ESPN. So the Mets had a change in leadership at the beginning of the week. But they hired a president of baseball operations, fired their manager, but they kept their GM. And, everybody said, it's going to be great working together. Okay. The GM resigned yesterday. So they worked together for 3 days. Now, apparently it's unrelated to the new president of baseball operations. Apparently, the old GM, Billy Epler, who was there all of 2 years, he's under MLB investigation, something about playing, funny stuff with the injured list. I have to admit, everybody in baseball plays funny stuff with the injured list. I mean, you think everybody's hurt who goes on the injured list? Hell no. It's called roster manipulation. There's some franchises that are legendary at it, the Dodgers. But I'm just saying. So Billy Epler's career is over at the age of 48. The baseball playoffs resume tomorrow, Mark. There's a couple things you need to know if you're actually interested. The American League playoffs are on Fox/FS1. Over the weekend, it's FS1 because they interrupted their football for the baseball playoffs. And the National League playoffs are on TBS. Very funny. The American League playoffs tomorrow are during the day.
Wait a minute. They don't start again until Tuesday, do they? The baseball playoffs?
No, Mark, see, they're going to play. Each series is going to play 2 games. You're just not going to pay attention to them.
They don't realize that there's football being played the next couple of days?
No, they do. They're just hoping that their base will still watch. But remember, Fox would rather show, all right, Michigan, Maryland, if you will, or Ohio State, Maryland, than, American League playoff baseball. I mean, we're relegating that to FS1. I mean, we're not getting in the way of Big Fox. Okay, we got some Big 10, Big 12 college football. It's far more important than the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles now.
Yes, it is.
Exactly. And the Twins and the Astros, for that matter. You're defending World Series champion Houston Astros. Whatever. TBS is Phillies Braves at 6 o'clock. See, once the sun starts to go down, National League, TBS. Phillies Braves, Arizona and the Dodgers, 9:20 on TBS. So there you go. Hey, Joel Embiid made a big decision. And for those that are into this sort of thing, a fairly big announcement yesterday. Joel Embiid's got 3 different citizenships. He was born in Cameroon. He's a French citizen. And in the last few years, he's become a U.S. citizen. So Joel Embiid had a decision to make. Who am I going to play for in the Olympics? And he decided yesterday he's going to play for the United States. He said, not an easy decision. He goes, but, been in the U.S. quite a while now. Love the country. My son's born here. And besides, me and the boys, we want to just end all this noise that's out there about, USA basketball is no longer. So Steph's committed to the Olympics. LeBron's committed to the Olympics. Embiid's committed to the Olympics. Apparently, we're sending the A team is what's happening, Mark. Okay. All of these countries that, we sent our C team and they beat us. They did. Congratulations. But apparently we're sending the A team.
And that noise you hear in the background is NBC doing the happy dance.
Right.
Trying to get 6 men to watch the Olympic Games.
But it is interesting for Embiid because also where are the 2024 Summer Olympics?
Paris.
And he's a French citizen. WNBA is going to expand. The word is they're going to add 2 franchises. They added 1 yesterday in the Bay Area. They're going to simply call themselves Golden State. Apparently train in Oakland, play in San Francisco. And Mark, the Calgary Flames. Actually, the future of the team has been discussed in the last couple of years because, their arena's almost 40 years old. I mean, in fact, when they left Atlanta and moved to Calgary, the Saddle Dome was built not only for the Flames, but for the 88 Winter Olympics. Well, they announced that they're going to break ground next year and they're going to build a new arena. Here's my question. Apparently, it only costs $584 million. Seems a lot cheaper than the arenas we build. Man, let me get this straight. And not only that, they're going to break ground next year and have the arena ready in 2.5 years. With their weather?
Right.
So it's going to be cheaper and built more quickly? What are we missing? 9 minutes before the hour. That was
That was the starting 5 every weekday morning at this time on Miller and Moulton.
David, the more things change around here, the more they stay the same.
Bear with me, David. I'm working on it.
Hey, Trent, listen, if you're foolish enough to get up at this hour and work for the money that we're paying you, you ain't going to get any grief from me.
Hey, I got Felipe helping me out, so we're still making that transition, but we'll get to a more comfortable place. I promise you that.
Listen, Trent, if you show up at 5:59 a.m. every day, we'll be in a very comfortable place. That's all, buddy.
Oh, look at David playing nice.
Listen, first off, I'm not. How can I play tough guy? I'm 350 miles away.
I know, but you can still play tough guy, and you've done it before.
Oh, no, during the commercial breaks, I'm going to be a sarcastic blankety blank. But no, right before the show and on air, try to knock yourself out, really. Go nuts. Go
Just
crazy.
stay awake. That's the first priority around here.
Yes. We would prefer if you stayed awake. Has Felipe taught you that yet?
Felipe,
by the way, how do you
all the
teach
tricks of the trade up to this point?
Yeah, how do you teach someone to fall asleep in the 8 o'clock hour? Felipe, work on that. You got to do that today. Last day of training. So there you have it. Lee Sterling coming up. We got some games, man. We got some games to talk about. By the way, the money keeps coming in on A&M.
That line has gone from 3.5 to 1. To 1.
I'm sorry.
What are we missing?
Right. When is A&M under Jimbo won a big game? Although they did beat Alabama 2 years ago. And last year's game did come down to the final play of the game.
I got you. And I know they're really strong up front and that Alabama's reeling a little bit. If I'm going to lose money on this game, I'm going to lose it betting on the Crimson Tide, David.
I think you and I might be in agreement on that one. Our pick's coming up in about 45 minutes.
Lee Sterling on the other side to make his picks. Thanks for listening to Miller and Moulton right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill, the Bayfront Inn, something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Boy, your NBC Twitter people there are on the ball this morning, Felipe. Sending out a tweet that the Thursday weather is going to be good. On Friday. Literally, the tweet says, our Thursday is shaping up to be a warm one. Today's Friday. Right. Did Michigan cover last week? I'll look it up. I just didn't know if you knew off the top of your head.
I would imagine, because didn't they win by, what was the final score?
That's what
Michigan went 45-7.
Yes.
So
Guys,
yes.
am I coming across okay?
Yeah, you're. The pitcher's not great, but as long as the voice is.
Wow, I got lighting. Took me 8 minutes. 8 minutes to log on.
I don't know why Comcast Xfinity can't fix that, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Their business internet is literally supposed to be able to survive a nuclear attack. No, seriously. I mean, that's
nuclear
what
attack.
they do.
Two kids
Yeah.
doing their homework before school. Shuts it down. Horrible. Terrible. How about that game last night, huh? Bears?
Well, Mark Miller was all over it.
All right, Mark.
I just had a feeling. I didn't think Washington was that good, and you can't keep telling an NFL team they suck over and over and over again before they react.
Yeah. And they might have the first 2 picks next year, too.
Got to figure one of those.
Really hoping that doesn't happen. Caleb Williams in this division.
Yeah.
40 seconds, by the way, guys.
Okay.
All right. Tell you what, it's interesting. If they say get the number 1 pick with Carolina's pick,
right,
and decide Caleb Williams is too good to pass up, and actually, if let's just say Fields is decent the rest of the year, they can put Fields on the market.
True. Then get Marvin Harrison Jr. too. Put him with DJ Moore.
10 seconds.
Hello, friends and family.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI.
We're back, Miller and Moulton. Getting through things here, a little technical difficulties. Computers fire sometimes inadvertently, so we apologize for coming back that way. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, good morning. Hope your Friday is going well. It is that time of the week that Lee Sterling joins us on Miller and Moulton.
Because it's a football Friday, and Lee Sterling's game of the week is the Cowboys and the Niners. But before we get that, we got to make our picks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm real good. I'm not going to yell and scream at 7 in the morning on a Friday, but I'm excited. I'm actually going to go to the Dolphins game. I used to make up excuses, why not to go to the Dolphins game. I'd ask, if someone asked me are you going to give me a little surf and turf before the game? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, not coming. Didn't even have to ask what the pregame meal is.
Well, they are entertaining, and it's been a while since you could say that. We will get to the Dolphins in a moment. Let's start with tomorrow. Florida State, fairly big number, 24 against Vatech. You laying it?
I think you have to. This Virginia Tech team, since Frank Beamer left, they have been in.
And we just lost Lee.
All righty then.
I mean, this is the
way
way you start the 7 o'clock hour on a Friday.
I think Lee messed with the broadcasting gods by saying you don't like you scream and yell at 7 in the morning. Now, sometimes you do.
Yeah,
all right. So then again, Lee, why do you have to lay the 24.5? It's about as far as we got with you.
Frank Beamer, since he's left, Frank Beamer has been, he took the program to heights maybe they'll never see again. They just don't have the talent here. They can't get to the quarterback. They're going to face a dual threat quarterback, which gives them a lot of trouble here. Sometimes you got to lay it if you want to play it. I like Florida State here, 44-14.
All right, the Gators. This is an interesting game to both of us because the Gators beating someone by 19 seems difficult the way that offense is played, but it is Vanderbilt after all. 18.5 is the number. How do you like this one, Lee?
So here's what's what's crazy about this game here is both teams combined 1-10 against the spread. Vanderbilt 0-for Florida 1-4 here. So I think the reason that Vanderbilt's just had so much trouble, they keep turning it over. 1 week it'll be fumbles, the next week interceptions. Florida, I just don't think they have the offense where you want to lay this kind of lumber here. I think Vanderbilt's going to come to play. They have a quarterback that can throw, run a little bit. Like I say, stay away from the turnovers. And how Florida was ranked 22nd. Just crazy here. Florida, 31-21. I'll take the points.
Well, I think Gator fans will be thrilled to see 31 points. It is interesting. Gators not forcing turnovers, Vandy committing turnovers in droves. Something has to give. Okay, Canes coming off a bye week. It's a big number. Just when you start to get excited about the Canes lately, they usually, throw cold weather on us. Should we continue to stay excited about the Canes? This their last breather for a while. 20-point favorite against Georgia Tech.
So if you see the quarterback under center and you're like, God, that name sounds familiar. Haynes King was the starter early last year at Texas A&M. And let me tell you something. Jimbo Fisher loved the guy. I don't know whether, he had a crush on his mom or something. There was something going on there to have him starting over the two guys that were behind him. So just strange, but he is athletic. He can run. He can throw the long ball. But at least twice a game, he will make passes or do things that just befuddle you. And then you understand why he ended up transferring and wasn't the guy at Texas A&M. Got a good group of receivers. 5'7", 5'8", and 5'9" guy that can get deep. Here's the problem with Georgia Tech here. Their linebackers get lost in coverage. You can run on them right up the middle, and then you do play action after you've had success there. You throw to the backs and the flat, they'll gain 20, 25 yards almost every time. Horrible. I like Miami here. They come to play here. They should be the right side. I like Miami here, 41-14.
To London we go Sunday morning. Buffalo and Jacksonville. 5.5 is the latest number I've seen in that. Buffalo favored in that game. Jacksonville has struggled in the red zone. Their offense has not been what it was a year ago. Well, it's a home game for the Bills in Jacksonville's second home, London.
Yeah, I know that Jacksonville's there, and they just stayed there, and that might be an advantage here. But how do you stop a hot team like Buffalo the last 3 games? I mean, Josh Allen threw for 320 yards, 5 touchdowns. completed 84.
Well, it sounds to me like he's taking the
Here.
Bills and
There's
laying the
just
5.5.
one player, one guy, offensive lineman misses a block. Guy runs maybe a little too shallow a route here. I think that Buffalo's the right side. Sometimes you got to lay it if you want to play it. I like we're going to go with Buffalo here, 31-21.
Well, if you use that for the Bills, do you also use it for the Dolphins? The number's up to 12, which is a really big number in an NFL game. But the Dolphins 12-point favorites at home against the lowly Giants.
I'd like to lay under double digits, but it's just not going to happen. They've led for less than half of a minute the entire year, the New York Giants. They are awful. I mean, give up 11 sacks here. Barkley may or may not play. I have a feeling they're going to hold him out one more game here. Danny Dimes not getting it done here. The receiving core, I don't know why they're not going to Jalen Hyatt. This guy should be playing almost every single down, playing him less than 20% of the snaps right now. That's a problem. He's a guy that can take the top off. I think Miami rebounds. Now, there is one caveat. They're going to be down one of their best linemen here, Armstead, and their center's out too. You might want to, lay off or play a little less, but I think this offense is too dynamic. How they made the playoffs last year is one of the world's greatest mysteries here. I like Miami too. Lay it here. Miami 38-14.
Your game of the week is the game of the week. San Francisco and Dallas. How do they get it, Lee?
Just call 800-400-9741. First 10 callers, we're going to give them the game for free. Again, that number, you want that game, 800-400-9741. And been a great run. September, 34-13-1. Looking for it to continue. We don't call it October, call it October. You can get the entire month of games, 4 weeks of games, just $297. Also, UFC comes back this weekend, 5 selections, $35. And the baseball playoffs through the World Series just lowered the price, just $97. So love to have you aboard for the ride. Other great videos I produce that are up and available on the website. Check it out, ParamountSports.com. And I'm also on TikTok now. The kids finally, prodded me enough, so I'm on TikTok. So
I was in a TikTok hole last weekend, and all of a sudden here's a Lee Sterling video. Like, what the hell is going on?
So you got to change with the times. So I'm on TikTok and got a bunch of videos. Got some real good stats on the Alabama A&M game and the Kentucky game. They're taking on Georgia. So check all those videos out, ParamountSports.com and TikTok.
800-400-9741. Lee laying the points with both the Canes and the Noles. Doesn't think the Gators can cover 18.5 against Vandy, and laying the points with the two juggernauts in the AFC East, the Bills and the Dolphins. Lee, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.
You too, guys. Take care. Be safe.
Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Follow him on Twix, Twitter/X at Paramount Sports, and 800-400-9741. Niners, Cowboys for free. There you go. That's how you get them in right there.
Absolutely.
The meat on the bone.
Absolutely. Does Dallas have anything for the 49ers? They've had their number here the last few.
Yep. Matchups, baby. It's not been a good matchup for Dallas. What does San Francisco do well? Physical up front, run the ball. Dallas, not all that physical in the interior of their defensive line. And the Niners have taken advantage of it and thrown the ball off of it.
I want to see if Dallas can keep up offensively with them as well. I think Dallas is much easier to stop than a lot of other teams. I'm not sold on Dallas's offense on a week in, week out basis.
Well, it's because you're not a Dak guy, right? I mean,
Yes.
and that's fair. I mean, it's simple. It's like you don't, at the end of the day, against really good teams in big spots, you don't believe in Dak.
That's fair.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I think there's a healthy percentage of the Cowboys fan base who's like, Dak's okay, but he can only get us so far. Others think he's the answer. But Mark, you may be in the majority at this point. I think it's close.
I think I'm in the majority with Dallas fans. I don't think I'm in the majority with national media because they still seem to think that Dak's the guy and is an MVP candidate. I've never seen that. I've never seen that guy, but they try to build him as a better quarterback than he is. I think he's a nice quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback.
But he is a great leader. If you talk to those in and around the team, he is regarded as a great leader. And leadership's A, important at the position, and B, it's really important if you're the quarterback of the Cowboys. You got to put up with a lot of blank. And so that is something I think when you make your decision, not only do you want your quarterback to have leadership, but let's face it, there are a few quarterback positions in the league in which you probably need the guy to be even a better dude than elsewhere. And does that weigh into it at all, Mark? And does that put pressure on Jerry, quite frankly, upgrade the rest of the roster? If your quarterback ceiling is only an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, do you need to go all in on other positions?
And that's a great question. With your theory, yes, you do. But I wonder if Dak's best may be an 8. I don't think he ever plays at an 8 long enough to be considered that type of a quarterback. I think he's more of a 6-7 guy. I'm not trying, but to your point,
you would move on. You don't think his ceiling is high enough. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. And obviously they do. And they really have a decision to make, Mark, at the end of this year. Because I think at the end of this year, he enters the final year of his deal. Unless you want to pull the Vikings and let your quote-unquote franchise quarterback play on the final year of his deal. Miller and Moulton. Play of the day coming up.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Jason and Todd invite you to join them Saturday, October 7th and Sunday the 8th as Veraccio, one of America's top bridal designers, joins the Diamond District with their entire collection of stunning engagement and wedding rings. Veraccio has always been on the forefront of design, and during this event, they'll unveil their newest and much anticipated exclusive designer fashion jewelry collection. Jason and Todd are excited to meet you personally Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. And with your purchase of any Veraccio jewelry priced at $2,500 or more, you'll receive a free pair of 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings, valued at $1,500. Jason and Todd are also offering 12 months interest-free financing. This event kicks off the fall season at the Diamond District in a big way. With your Veraccio purchase of $2,500 or more, you'll receive free 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings. Jason and Todd look forward to meeting you and welcoming you to their Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
What were you last week, David, on your picks?
I was, let's
4-2?
Yes, I was 4-2. I'm 17-15, I believe.
Yes.
Because I started 4-9, and I'm on a 13.
You were 13-13.
Right. I'm on a 13-6 run here over the last 3 weeks. I got you at 12-14.
That's correct.
Oh. Do we have a play of the day?
We do.
Good. Is it Felipe?
Or I don't know.
I'll do it.
Okay. Oh. When's the week they go to Kittle? Kittle's been quiet. When's the week they go to Kittle? And to the gentleman on Twitch who asked, I'm like 3.5 miles from the stadium. I'm at the Conrad at Resorts, and I'm like all the way at the other end. So that's going to be fun getting back.
What's Monday?
Yeah. Well, and also I got to take Bill and Ed to the airport, and then I got to circle back.
Oh, they're taking a red eye?
Yeah. Ed's got to work the baseball playoffs. He's doing he's with Adam Amin. I think he's got Twins Astros.
What's he do for that? Stats?
Yeah. He was with Joe all those years doing stats, and Fox kept him. Him and Bill work with Adam Amin for baseball on Fox and NFL. So they're with Adam on Sundays, usually doing a 1:00 game. So he'll be in Houston Saturday, Sunday. He'll fly Monday morning to
Here we go.
Vegas and then take a red eye Minneapolis.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour, top of the morning to you on this Football Friday.
Football Friday.
And it's apparently National Coaches Day. And I will say, tip of the hat to all the high school, JV, just all the coaches out there in the communities that you are in. Thanks for doing what you do. This whole thing doesn't work without you. So, and you know, you're so well paid. I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, the 12 cents an hour that you make when the year is done.
Well, and treated well by everybody too.
Exactly. You know, not just from your fellow, you know, athletes, but, you know, their parents,
right?
You know, the crowd, you know, it's the same with the officials. I mean, let me tell you, I mean, you guys are so well paid, so well treated. You know, the perks are fantastic. So we salute you as well. But it's National Coaches Day, and we're looking at a little higher level than those of you of which we speak now. No offense. No offense. Okay. We're thinking football, big time football, college and pro. And so who's the best?
Who's the best head coach in football right now? We gave you three choices: Nick Saban, Andy Reid, and Bill Belichick. And right now, Andy Reid is running away with it.
Really?
63% of the early voting.
Do we think this has turned into a popularity contest? People like the
bias. I mean, the Patriots now for a couple of years have been mediocre to bad.
Right.
Andy Reid and the Chiefs are really good.
Yeah, see, they got this Mahomes guy. And they've got Taylor Swift. I mean, Travis Kelce. Do you think Andy's benefiting from all the cutaway shots of the last couple games?
I think he's benefiting from the commercial where he's eating the food. I think of you every time that Jake from State Farm and Patrick Mahomes are explaining bundling. And he takes the fries, and then he takes the burger, and then he's going for the nuggets. Even though he says nuggies, which in and of itself is a little creepy. But I think that is such a well-done commercial.
It is a form of bundling. Okay, it is the kind I can relate to best.
You tell me right now they don't have you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as big as Andy, okay? But as was described to me in the Twitch chat room last week, Mark, I am jolly. Translation, fat. David, you're just as jolly as I thought you'd be. I go, Mark, does he mean fat? And before Mark could answer, the guy goes, yes, I did. I do want to ask this question, though. Like in our Twitch chat room, everyone is starting to realize Bill is nothing without Brady. Really? Really? Nothing? Right? Really? We all know what his record is. Only 2 winning seasons in, I think, 8 coached without Brady. Got it. But, do we really think he's average to below average coach?
The problem, David, is that he might be an average to below average GM.
Well, yes.
And that is seriously affecting what people think of him as a coach, because that roster is lousy.
Yes, and he's responsible for it. I mean, I made a prediction at the beginning of the year. I'm still taking a lot of heat over it. I think Bill Belichick's going to be in Washington. I think that at the end of this year, Robert Kraft is going to say, Bill, I love you, but you're responsible for the roster, and the roster is not good. All the teams I see us playing here in recent years, I feel as if they're more talented than us. I need to take control of the roster away from you. And I think Bill's going to reject it. And I think it's going to lead to them, parting ways. I mean, Mark, let's just say I'm Belichick and you're Kraft. You sticking with me as GM at the end of this year?
No, I'm not.
Right.
I want you to bring in help. I want something to be done with how the roster is assembled.
So I don't think that what I'm saying is crazy. I don't know 6 Patriots fans who could disagree that we need to take personnel away from Belichick. Is that a hell of a run? But it's not working right now. It's not working. Patriots fan, would you take the Jets roster or the Patriots roster? Even with Zach Wilson at quarterback, would you take the Jets roster or the Patriots roster? You'd take the Jets roster.
Their defense is special, David.
Yeah,
I think that's the only reason why you take that.
Yeah, but they've got a They've got a receiver that can play. They've got a running back. They've got offensive guys that are difference makers. New England does not have one.
Okay, so
no. New England does not have one guy in offense.
Oh no, I know, but competent quarterback and incompetent wide receivers, or incompetent quarterback and competent wide receivers.
I don't know. Competent quarterback in New England.
Once again,
I think Mac Jones is pretty good.
Really,
he's all right.
He's at best. He's a bottom 3rd quarterback. At best, he's a bottom.
He's better than Zach Wilson.
He is. And I said, Felipe, even with Zach Wilson, okay, whose roster would you take? I mean, Mac Jones would give back millions of dollars to have Garrett Wilson. He would write a 7-figure check right now to have a Garrett Wilson on his team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And for as competent as the Patriots running backs are, he doesn't have a Breece Hall either. I mean,
and trust me, the New England O-line's not much better than the Jets O-line, and the Jets O-line's a disaster.
But I'm just glad my team is none of those rosters.
Although last week. But anyway, so that's our poll question. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. National Coaches Day, best football coach going right now. Belichick, Andy Reid, Nick Saban.
Felipe, I think Diggs just caught another pass.
Oh, stop it.
Nice. Wow. Extend that to Friday. That's outstanding right there.
All right, Felipe, play of the daytime. What do you have for us?
Listen, I know some of you were in that situation. I don't know if I should play DJ Moore. The Bears, they're not that great. They're 0-4. Well, if you did, congratulations.
Snap back to Fields. Fields looking, now throwing. Got open man. DJ Moore. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. Toasted the secondary on a 20-yard strike. His third touchdown pass from Justin Fields, the Maryland Terrapin. Snap to Fields. Roche on the back. Gonna throw. Left side of the end zone. Up in the air. Contested catch. Touchdown. DJ Moore. What a return to Maryland for the former first-round pick of Carolina and the new Bear.
DJ Moore, Justin Fields putting up numbers last night, although they almost let it slip away in the second half, but they said, nah, we're going to close it out. Bears win their first game of the season, first game in almost a full calendar year, 40-20 on Thursday night against the Commanders. Finally, my goodness.
Yeah, if your fantasy team had DJ Moore starting last night, you're in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
You're up 49 spit against most everybody.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That's not all bad.
So the Bears won. Mark Miller, he called it. He just didn't call it on air. He got gun shy. Okay, just saying. We'll make our picks next. Mark, don't be gun shy. Okay? Channel your inner Bruce Arians. No risk it, no biscuit. Okay?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm ready. Only 5 this week. I learned what happens when I go above the magic number. Bad things happen. Trying to right the ship. Our picks on the other side. Miller and Moulton right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail. District.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Felipe, based on your bio there, I was just looking at you bring Cuban energy to the show. Is that when you're not asleep? When does Cuban energy start?
Remember, Cubans are known for staying up late. They have dinner late.
Trust me, I used to wait tables. Nothing unusual to have the Cuban table at Marco Island come in 5 minutes before the restaurant closed with 6 people and have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. It opened last week. Now serving overpriced food, overpriced drinks. The Snook Inn, Marco Island. We've got a view, so nothing else has to be good.
Is that their ad campaign, by the way? I mean, I love truth in advertising. Oh.
That should have been worked into the contract because it's the only one ever going up.
No. Here's the funny thing. I have agreed to pay our designer extra. And once we get moved in a little less than 2 weeks, then she's coming back and we're hanging stuff all over the house. Okay. She's going to take a look at our photos and the space and what have you, and paintings, and then she's going to hang it. And one of the things that it's going to be like, okay, here's the desk, and to do a show, we got to get this in the shot. how do we do it? She's going to be like, doesn't work with the room. I'm going to be like, yeah, it doesn't matter at this point.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
"22 minutes before the top of the hour, and that's when we'll bring Pat Kirwan on the show. Do a half an hour with Pat on and off the air. That's why you got to watch us. Miller and Moulton Twitch.tv channel. That's it. During the breaks, before the appearance, during the appearance, after the appearance, you get all the insight and the stories that go with it. Pat Kirwan coming up in 22 minutes. Hey, before we make our picks, can I throw some numbers out at you?
Please.
And this probably will not affect a single pick that we make. But so far this year, NFL only, the under has won 54% of the time.
Okay.
If the game doesn't go to overtime, the under is won 56% of the time. But all games, the under has been the play so far more than the over. If you just took the road team, didn't pay attention to whether they're a favorite or a dog, if you just took the road team and whatever the spread is, 57%, you'd be a winner. And that's because road teams straight up so far this year, counting the Bears win last night, road teams straight up are 35-30. Once again, there is no such thing as home field advantage in the NFL. Road teams won more games than home teams last year. Road teams won almost as many games, really close, in 2021. And obviously in 2020, we really didn't have home games since the pandemic. So this is 3+ years now where you really should ignore where the game is being played. Unless you think certain places, Seattle, Kansas City, what have you. But the numbers say, quite frankly, you should just ignore where the game is being played. Mark, so far this year, all right, away favorites are the play in the NFL. If you took road favorites, you have won a little more than 58% of your bets.
Wow.
It's a good number.
That's pretty solid.
It is.
Handicappers would love to be 58%.
Yep. And not only that, what does it go against? What has been one of the biggest for 20 years? What do? If you get a home dog, you play it. This year, if you did, you've been a winner 41.7% of the time.
And there are a bunch of road favorites again this week. The Chiefs are a road favorite. The Eagles are a road favorite. The Bengals, Titans, Ravens, all road favorites this week.
And so far this year, you should just blindly. That's 5, right?
Yes.
You should take those 5. Take them, and 58% of the time they'll cover. Well, that's damn near 3 out of 5 because that's 60%. So the percentages say if you take those 5 road favorites, you'll go at worst 3-2 this week. So far this year. Okay.
I may have 10 plays now because I didn't have any of those 5 on my sheet.
Okay, if I were you, just draw the line in the middle, play 5, and then put a different name on the second 5. Okay. Like maybe the first ticket you put Mark and the second ticket you put Miller, but don't put them together. Because when you've only stayed with 5 games, you're crushing it this year. You went over 5 last week, and the sports gods mess with you a little bit.
They really did.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, I think you need to start this week. You're 3.
Okay.
You got 3 winning weeks in a row.
Yep. And with that, I'm going totally against the numbers. Okay. I'm playing
bunch of home dogs.
I'm playing 3 home dogs in the NFL. because I think we're going to have 2 outright upsets. I think Arizona's beating Cincinnati. How about that? How about that?
And you get 3 with it, right?
I know. I have to admit, I wish it was 3.5. And I never buy a half a point. But in fact, I would love to hold out till close to kickoff because I think this might get to 3.5. And the Rams are beating the Eagles. The Eagles are not playing well. They're not. They dominated the Bucs up front defensively, but a couple of times this year, they've actually been pushed around defensively. I mean, Washington outplayed Philly for large stretches last Sunday. The loss of the coordinators, I think, has affected Philadelphia right now. They're not the team they were last year. Not yet. I actually like the Rams in an upset. Getting Cooper Kupp back, right? Getting Cooper Kupp back. Did I see that right? I get the Rams in 4?
4.5.
Okay. And, Mark, how do you not take the Steelers and 4.5 at home against the Ravens? I don't care what recent form is coming into the game. It doesn't matter in this game. These 2 teams would play each other for free in the parking lot. They would. All season, by the way. They would agree to play all 17 games against each other. All right? Whoever wins 9 wins the North. They would agree to that. This is the best rivalry in the league. Home, away, dog, it doesn't matter. Mike Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach. I think you're going to see it this week. Matt Canada's coaching for his job. I think you're going to see it this week. Kenny Pickett, bone bruise in the knee. He's going to play. He's going to win over the team. Give me the Steelers in 4.5 against the Ravens. By the way, the numbers say you should go against all 3 picks I just made.
Got that right.
Okay. Now, to Saturdays. Canes off a bye week. I love them to score 40-something points against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's already fired a defense coordinator. They're in chaos defensively. Give me the Canes lay the 20. Alabama's a 1-point favorite at A&M. Listen, this is a close game. But A&M is going to throw the ball, and Alabama's not. And because of it, A&M's quarterback is going to make the mistake in the 4th quarter, and Alabama's going to win a 4-point game. And they're only laying 1. I know Kansas's starting quarterback is out. Have you seen UCF's defense? Also, UCF, even when they've won some games this year against Power 5 teams, they have not looked good. Got outplayed by Boise. Also, not a single new member of the Big 12 has won a game yet in the Big 12. Until they do, I'm betting against them. Give me Kansas at home and 2 against UCF. Boise State outplayed UCF and lost, outplayed Memphis and lost. Okay?
Just keeping track. This is number 7, everyone. Number 7 on the Fantastic 5, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I got 5 college picks and 3 NFL.
8. Okay. The Elite 8 this week. He is the Miami women's team from a year ago. Sorry, David. Keep going.
By the way, I'm 13-6 in the last 3 weeks. I went 5-1-1 last week. Okay. Boise State has outplayed 2 opponents that they've lost to close. San Jose State's a 1-win team. They're going to the blue turf. Give me Boise State lay the 9. They're going to win by 20. And USC's looking ahead to Notre Dame. USC's defense is terrible. All right. Jed Fish is a really good coach. Arizona's a salty 7-5 team. They just lost to Washington by a touchdown. Anybody else play Washington within 7 this year?
No one has, David.
Okay, give me Arizona and 21.5 on the road. And Mark, by the way, you're looking for a new coach in Lansing? I'd hire Jed Fish, who coached under Harbaugh for 2 years at Michigan, the middle of last decade. He's also coached at Miami, coached under Sean McVay with the Rams. Jed Fish is a really good coach in a place that nobody knows he's a really good coach, and you can get him on the cheap. Arizona covers against USC.
You know, I type these picks. I try to do them, because there's 5 picks in the Fantastic 5. So I try to keep up so I can get them up posted on the webpage. I'll get them done by Tuesday.
Okay. All right. That's cute. That's funny. 3 pro, 5 college. Okay.
You done?
I am.
Okay. All right. I'm back to 5.
Good.
Because messing around with any other number than 5 apparently is my KOD. But I am taking an over-under. Texas and Oklahoma can both score. Give me the over 60.5 in the shootout. I'm with David. If I'm going to lose money on Alabama and A&M, I'm going to lose it betting Alabama. I'm going to take Alabama and lay the 1 point. I'm going to go right into the betting money, which has been all on A&M. This line started at 3.5. It's been bet down to a point. I will take Alabama in a virtual pick'em against A&M. Arkansas is better than their record, David. They've played teams tough. They haven't won games. Ole Miss is coming off back-to-back really tough football games. I don't know if they have it 3 times in a row. They may win this game, but give me Arkansas and the 11.5 over Ole Miss. Minnesota's not good. And that's the Gophers I'm talking about. They're outmatched against Michigan. Primetime game, Michigan's going to keep on rolling. I'm surprised the number, I know it's in Minnesota. I'm surprised the number is as little as it is. Little brown jug be damned. Give me the blue minus 18.5 in the little brown jug game against Minnesota. And I'm doing something that I don't normally do. I looked through the NFL slate and I had trouble finding a game. I don't like putting money on bad football teams. These are both bad football teams. But the Broncos get it done and get the win against the Jets. I'm laying the 2.5 with Denver because they're going to lose that team if they don't win the game. Denver will have a solid football game. They beat the Jets. They win and cover the 2.5. Give me the Broncos.
I think both locker rooms are in peril in that game. I do. I mean, the Jets are making a big deal about what Sean Payton said about their offensive coordinator. They're really, we're playing for his manhood. They're making a big deal about this. This is why it's a big deal. You're 1-3, okay? You're 1-3. Just win the damn game. You do have Zach Wilson as your quarterback. Just take it easy on what you're playing for. How about if you play for a win?
So there you have it. David's got 8. He's been on a roll. He just announced it 13-6 in your last 3 weeks.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. 9-3 the last 2 weeks. 4-2 last week. Break it down however you want. It's winner, winner, chicken dinner is what it adds up to.
Oh, boy, is he feeling it.
I am. I just made 3 ridiculously stupid bets.
Just got done giving us all kinds of numbers as to why you take road favorites.
Right. So I bet 3 home dogs in the NFL.
With conviction, too.
Yeah.
This is why the numbers are wrong and why I'm right.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to reverse course this week. And I'm going to be on the train, baby. I'm going to go 2-6 this week. Okay, with the minute you think, and not only that, I'm literally heading to Vegas Sunday morning. Okay, this could be an absolute financial disaster of a weekend.
All right, here's what I have to ask you, though. You have 5 college games. Let's just say you go 2-3 in your college games. Does that mean the moment you land on Sunday, you run and play your 3 NFL games?
Well,
how do you don't have a lot of time to get these in?
Well, I landed a little before 9 a.m. Vegas time, and I could play the Arizona-Cincy game. That's a 1:00 Vegas start. So I got 4 hours to place that bet. I got 4 hours to place the Rams-Eagles bet. That's probably the bet I'd go play. I'd go get the Rams in 4.5. That's the one. But, Mark, I got prop bets. I mean, I got to put money on I got the Rangers at 15-1. I got the Sacramento Kings to go to the conference finals, for my son-in-law. I mean, I got prop bets I got to make. My wife said to me, "You're not gambling when you go out there, are you?" I go, "No."
Did she really say that?
Yeah, she's a
I
good.
know she never really listens to the show, but she's usually in close proximity to where you are during the show. And we do speak about gambling a lot. Does she just not understand gambling lingo? Does she not understand her husband? You're going to Las Vegas. Of course you're going to gamble.
Well, I know that. You know that. Okay. But she asked, are you going to gamble when you're out in Vegas? No, I'm not going to gamble.
I'm going to win.
Right.
What I'm going to do.
I'm not going to gamble. I'm going to play some bets. Okay.
I
It's
got to
very
pay
different.
for this renovation on the condo, for crying out loud.
Exactly. I got to pay for an extra week in the Airbnb. No, I'm not going to gamble. I'm going to play some bets. Very different.
I'm expecting you to play a slot machine in the airport just for her and video it and send it back to her. Say, honey, I'm not gambling.
Exactly. I'm going to say we've been playing your dad's numbers for 22 years. He's won us $12. Don't yell at me about gambling. Probably shouldn't bring her dead father into this.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to make sure you're shopping with the best. And the best when it comes to GIA certified diamonds and diamond jewelry is not online. It's not in the malls. And it's not with any of the new pop-up jewelry stores trying to make a go of it here in Southwest Florida. The best place to buy diamonds is with my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, who have made Southwest Florida their home for over 20 years now. The largest selection of GIA certified diamonds is with the Diamond District. The only place you'll find diamonds 8 to 10% over cost is with the Diamond District. America's top bridal designers have chosen the Diamond District to represent their engagement rings exclusively in Southwest Florida. Simply put, the best selection, experience, and best prices are with Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. I was just laughing at you a little bit whenever he said something about the dead parent. You were just making that funny face.
Oh, I knew it was coming too. I knew where he was going. I had last night picked. I didn't have enough guts to pick him to win outright. I said take the Bears and the points. I should have picked him outright.
Yeah, well, I
was
took the
thinking
other
it the
team.
whole show. I saw it as the New England game last year. You keep telling a team how much they suck. After a while, they come out and play like pros.
Yeah. Dick Buckus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's I didn't see the over. I hate Thursday night football with two mediocre teams. I never saw 60 points coming.
No.
And I don't bet, but I'd rather bet over unders than anything. And I would have lost that one. But I'm doing good.
All right. So which games do you see the points in this weekend? Let's get my DraftKings fantasy money going again.
Yeah. Well, I was just looking at the hardest games to pick.
This is a tough week period to me. This is
Tennessee, Indy. Tennessee hard, Houston, Atlanta hard. Whether you like the games or not. New Orleans, New England hard, Jets, Denver hard. After last night, you got to start asking you who else is going to show up that hasn't been showing up. Okay, maybe this is a question for a month from now, but is Justin Fields complicating their draft passion?
We already brought it up.
Yeah.
I actually think what he's doing is if they get the number one pick with Carolina's pick, Fields, if he continues to play decently, they'll get something when they trade him.
So they will.
Right. Because
If
they'll
he plays
draft.
in 5 games like this. Look, you and I, all 3 of us, have seen backups that get 2 starts and then someone gives them $50 million. This guy's going to play just good enough. He played good enough last week. So now he's got back-to-back games where you'd pay for that.
All right, guaranteed win. Would you go with Detroit or Miami?
Guaranteed win, I would go with Miami.
Yes.
Stop it right now.
Guaranteed win, I'd go with Buffalo. Guaranteed win, I'd go with Philadelphia.
Oh, it's funny. I'm actually picking the Rams.
Yeah, good. So I'm beating all the guys at CBS, which now all of a sudden they're my best friends. Last night I'm 46-19, but I was like, with those guys, it's like now Phil Sims goes, hey, you don't have to sit with Cowher all the time. You can sit right over here. He's like in last place or something. Who knows? I just drove down here from the lake, so I've been in the car for the last 3.5 hours.
Close up the lake, or do you still have work to do?
No, I won't close that up until I just had a flight canceled, my November 5th flight back down to Florida. The week before I'll be there, October 29th or something through the 4th. But they just canceled the only flight I can take back to get home in time for the show on Saturday, and obviously CBS.
There you go.
They canceled the damn flight, and they put me on a 12:30 in the afternoon flight. I said I can't fly at 12:30. I have a show at 2 o'clock. So now that week's a mess. I'll close up the lake then, probably.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
And it is the top of the 8 o'clock hour on a Friday, and that means Pat Kirwan. He of NFL Radio is moving the chains. And the NFL Today on CBS. Pat joining us courtesy of Pinchers, Tampa to Key West. All points in between Pinchers because you can't fake fresh. Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. And so answer this question. Last night was interesting to watch, but they had 14 kickoffs, all touchbacks, so the clock didn't start. We had 4 total penalties in the game, and it still was over 3 hours. Now, how's that? I don't know. It's just amazing to me. You think with those 2 elements alone, you'd be at 255. No.
The game will be. It doesn't matter, Pat. I mean, it's unusual for these things to ever finish below 3 hours. They've got the time slot. They use the whole thing. Jam another commercial in if you have to.
Yeah, and if there's a celebrity singer actress in the stands, it's going to 3:15. Okay, take a couple shots up in the booth and see how she's doing.
Okay, I hate to be a jerk. Okay. But with the amount of money that the networks are paying to televise this product, everybody needs to shut up and cash the checks. Seriously, there's not a single network that's not paying $2 billion or more, all right, to televise these games. Okay,
Well, the reason they're doing that is there's nothing else on television worth a guard.
But I understand. But I mean, you can't demand that the networks pay over $2 billion and then get upset when they're trying to come close to breaking even. They're all losing money on the NFL. They're just trying to come close to breaking even.
No, they want to steer you to their next show. That's all they're doing.
Right.
Now, listen, believe me, I've heard more about 60 Minutes in the last 15 years than anyone needs to.
Well, what do you
know
make-
what I say, though? At least we're not going to The Simpsons next. Come on.
Right.
Your place or your former place.
All right. What do you make of last night? The Bears were the laughing stock of the league. They were going to get the first pick overall, and they come out, and Justin Fields looks pretty good last night.
Well, Justin has 2 good games in a row now, so he's building a resume that's got a lot of positive. The irony is he also taking the Bears out of the hunt for the top 2 quarterbacks? Everyone thinks, well, he'll get traded. What about he wins just enough games that he is their quarterback?
Well, I think Chicago has the ultimate fallback. They've got Carolina's first pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Carolina looks as if they're a stronger contender for the number 1 pick of the draft than maybe the Bears do. And so, they've got 2 bites at this apple. They could win it either way. But I mean, Pat, let's be honest. If Justin Fields just continues to be in the area code that he's been in the last 2 weeks, he doesn't even get better than that. He's just in this area code for the rest of the year. Wouldn't the Atlanta Falcons go crazy for Justin Fields in the offseason?
I think we could find 4 or 5 teams that would go crazy for him. How about the team he just played?
That's interesting.
I always think one of the things that intrigues me, and it always was the way it was, when you play someone, you have a deeper appreciation of who you just played. So the Washington Commanders, they might have liked what they just saw as well. So I could come up with 4 or 5 teams that should be thinking about him if he keeps playing like this. It's not hard to see, and they're hard to find. And you're really going to get to the point where it'll be a fun debate at the end of the year. If all you need is Carolina to take care of your situation, win 4 games. But I don't know who else is going to be that bad. So good for last night. As I said, no penalties in the game. Love games like that. 4 total penalties. Keep the flag in the pocket. And of course, we're all being subtly trained to not remember kick returns, which is okay. We had 14 touchbacks out of 14 kickoffs. Not one, and no, I'll get no complaints about that. I think we're all just being programmed that the kick return is over in the NFL.
Well, and what I think also happens is that then when the weather gets cooler and not all these kicks end up being touchbacks, teams that haven't had to defend a kickoff in 6 weeks, all of a sudden will have to start defending them, and you'll find out, oh, wow, they're actually not good at it.
That could very well be, because those are all mostly rookies and inexperienced guys who are getting no experience jogging down the field to do nothing. So those are the things. Things that surprised me last night, scoring on your first 5 possessions. We haven't witnessed that from the Bears forever. 5 sacks from a defense that had 2 sacks in a month. That's all they had. They were the worst sack team in the NFL. They get 5 last night. That's kind of revealing. They finally get their money's worth out of Moore because he's decided to throw to him. And there's a lot of other things. They ran the ball pretty good. So they're going to land up at this pace. And I really detested that the possibility of Eberflus being fired if he lost. I was ripping on that yesterday. Typical Bears if they ever did that. The owner better step in and say, he should have said right away, that's not true. He's our coach. You can fire him at the end of the year, but you're not firing him after 5 games.
On the other side, what happened to Washington? I mean, they play Philadelphia to overtime. Philadelphia, one of the most physical teams in the league, and then they play the Bears and get beat up.
And it was their home game, which was bad enough, with new ownership sitting there watching that. I saw the clips of the owner on TV. He was laughing and having a good time. His team was losing. That wasn't a good look for him. Be serious about your football team and don't be on your cell phone. The young quarterback, look, I said this right for the game too. Their experiment with the 5th-round quarterback is not the same risk the Bears are taking with a 1st-round pick they moved to get. So I think this is how Houston was when they played the kid from out there in Cal. He wasn't the 1st-round pick, so when they found one, they just dismissed him, and that'll happen here as well.
Yeah, wasn't he a 3rd-rounder from Stanford that
Yes.
they played for a year and a half and decided, well, we need to move on, and they've made the right decision because C.J. Stroud looks really good. Before we get to the games, Dick Butkus, obviously he played before Miller or Moulton was old enough to watch him play. We know him through NFL films and Miller Lite commercials. But the one thing we could comment on is don't know if there was ever a personality and a name attached to a position that was more perfect than in his era, middle linebacker Dick Butkus for the Bears.
Yeah, he's the signature player for an organization that wanted to build it around the middle linebacker, the local guy. I used to go to visit my relatives out there. There were Butkus real estate signs all over the place. They weren't his; it was his sister, I think. Yeah. So I talked to Urlacher about him yesterday. Urlacher, he could put a sense of humor on it and appreciate the life of the guy for 80 years. The guy, and a lot of people younger than you only remember him from television and things like that and commercials. And then the highlights come on, and then you see what he was. Urlacher said, I said, when did you realize, this is my favorite answer, that he respected you? And he goes, I don't think he ever got to that point, because the one time he said to me, you know what makes me mad about you, Urlacher? You tackle guys and pick them up. Don't pick them up. Just walk back to the huddle. So, and Urlacher started laughing. He goes, that was like his last advice to me when I was playing. Stop picking up guys you tackle. And so I said, well, what'd you say to him? He goes, but I like picking guys up, Dick. And laughed. So the tradition ended when they traded Roquan. Roquan is in Baltimore, the only other place I know that absolutely idolizes a middle linebacker in the modern game. And they have the Chicago Bear heir apparent to the job, and he's already got 43 tackles.
Well, since you mentioned Baltimore and we talked about Dick Butkus, I don't think there's a better game to start with than the Ravens and the Steelers, because that's a Butkus-type football game. That's one that David would always say these two teams would play one another for free. Pittsburgh's offense has been a mess. They're a home dog. Home dogs have not done well this year at all, Pat. They've, I think, 41% winning, so it's not what it used to be. And Pittsburgh, their offense is, well, offensive most games.
Well, two things come to mind. The first one is David's reminder to you and me all the time that home field advantage disappeared. It's gone. And that's generally true even without home dogs. Just home field, what does it do for you? Not much. Now, in this game, everyone says, this is what I get all the time from the Steeler fans. Well, you know, we own Lamar. You only played him 3 times. Okay. He's missed this opportunity many times. So I wouldn't go and say you have a full resume of complimentary beatings of Lamar. And Lamar right now is in a very good place with the blend of things they're doing. And he still will run the ball 10 to 12 times. So you got to honor that, which reminds me, Fields last night, he kept reminding us that he can still run the ball when he wants to. He had 11 rushes with the ball. So I think Lamar is ahead of where they are, certainly ahead of where Pickett is. And if Pickett plays and is wearing a brace, he's that much closer. What I love about Baltimore right now is they've overcome a lot of injuries to win games. Both pass rushers, 2 or 3 of the starting offensive linemen. And so consequently, and I hate doing this, but I will take Baltimore on the road.
Pat, the way the Central has played out in the first month, can the Ravens take control of this division this week? I mean, we thought this was going to be a bloodbath division. They were all going to be good. It was going to go to the very end. I mean, with Watson's injury and Chubb out in Cleveland, the Steelers at the Bengals, I mean, my goodness, are the Ravens going to pull away with a win this weekend?
Well, before we get to that, I know you said you weren't old enough to remember Dick Butkus, But you did show your age just now calling it the Central Division.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so
My
just
bad.
want you to know. Somewhere between Butkus and today was the Central Division, and there you are.
That's true. That means the Houston Oilers are still in it, but that's a whole
right.
other deal.
They were rough. Where's Buddy Ryan? Come on. Yeah, they are positioned to do well. They are I think Cleveland's the only one that can get close to him and then challenge him.
By the way, there's a report that Watson was cleared by the Browns medical staff to play, and he said, "No, I can't go."
Yeah, and I respect him for that because I stayed in touch with him all week. He did not throw a ball all week. He did not throw anything until Sunday when he tried to throw, and he felt like he couldn't make the throws to win a game. And it's hard to do that when the doctors cleared you to do what? I have no idea. But when he said he couldn't throw, and I know that they would bring him out Sunday for the first look at his arm, and he didn't like what he saw.
He's Pat Kirwan. NFL Radio's Moving the Chain, CBS Sports NFL Today Show, and Pat's appearance is brought to you by Pinchers. Pinchers with locations from Tampa to Key West where you cannot fake fresh. We'll get into more games with Pat on the other side right here. Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening to the Florida Sports Network.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Have you seen the stat that was put out this morning about the Bears game last night?
No.
There's two stats. First off, since they've been keeping track of this, the Commanders called 55 consecutive pass plays from the 8:49 mark of the second quarter to the end of the game. They did not call a running play. 55 consecutive plays. Apparently, there's no NFL game since 2006 in which that can be the case. And that's when I guess they started tracking this. Secondly, DJ Moore with 200 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns last night. The last Bear to have those numbers, Walter Payton in 79.
Yeah. Last week I got the one on Jim Miller. The last guy to throw for 400 yards as a Bear quarterback was Jim Miller in like 1990 something, 80.
Did he know it?
He didn't know it. He knew he threw for 400, but he thought someone else had to do it.
He figured Grossman or Cutler or someone.
Yeah, 25 years of games.
Yeah.
The Bears. I've got some bad thoughts about the president of the Bears.
Yeah. Well, the Big Ten was thrilled to get rid of him.
They sure were. And he thinks he's going to be the commissioner of the National Football League.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
No, but he's got a nice resume. But if you dug into it, there'd be a lot of people going, no. Not under our watch would we think he's good. But no, hopefully he's just got stadium duties. That's what he should do.
We'll find out. I mean, if they blow out this regime and he's the one leading the charge, then we know. But when they announced him, I thought they basically said he's in charge of the business.
That's what I thought too.
The football, right?
Who is Peter King talking to? If I was the owner, I'd be finding out who Peter King got that little gem of. They were going to fire him if he lost.
Well, especially since, take a look at Eberflus's staff. There's nobody you would make interim head coach on that staff.
Plus, he just had to get rid of his defensive coordinator, and he's got to take on all those duties. And they played well last week.
Right.
I mean, for Peter to say that, someone gave that to him in that building. Yeah, well, that's Peter's style.
I would take a look at people that are over the age of 55, because I don't think Peter's got a lot of young sources.
No, he doesn't. I did see him. I was with him in Cleveland. We spent about an hour talking. At the end of it, I said, "Hey, if you're looking for something, I know a lot of these guys. You can give me a call." I just was like, couldn't wait to say it to him.
Whatever you do, don't call Florio and don't call Chris Sims.
No. Trust me.
I do respect that Chris is willing, when he evaluates quarterbacks, he's willing to stick his neck out and say, this is what I think. That I respect about him.
Yeah, he does enough work with quarterbacks, and his father and his brother they're hands-on with a lot of these quarterbacks. They've worked with a ton of them, and they work with them in the offseason. So Chris is getting this QB information from bro and dad. That part of it, I know where he's getting most of his, plus his own instincts, but he gets, those guys. A lot of these guys come up to North Jersey and work with them in the offseason. So that he's got inside information on that.
30 seconds.
Anyone who talks to Floyd will be the last time I'm friends with him.
Really?
I'm just being kind right now. I'd like to tell you what I really think.
I can't wait till we get to a Blades game. I'm going to register this one.
Please do. We'll skip the third period and stay upstairs for that.
Pat will play Buddy Ryan, and Mike Florio will be Kevin Gilbride.
Oh no, I won't miss when I throw.
There'll be no one in between you.
I'd wear gloves for that. I don't want to touch it.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Our remaining moments with Pat Kirwan, and we'll get to the games right now. Greg Rousseau, by the way, has just been ruled out for the Bills. Remember, the Bills and the Jags are over in London, so they're 5-6 hours ahead, and they've already had practice today, and coaches met with the media and what have you. So we do have another 9:30 a.m. game on Sunday, and Pat will start there. You really like the Bills, we'll say, offensively, ever since Josh Allen gave away the game to the Jets. He's playing like an MVP.
They're scoring like crazy. They're dominating their opponents. They are. And by the way, on Rousseau, I was having a hard time figuring out how to use him now that Von Miller's back and Floyd's on the other side. So they'll get by without him. Eventually, I'd like to see Rousseau go inside on third down and play over the guard. And now all of a sudden they got a real speedy rush. I like everything about Buffalo right now. I like the way Sean has molded the defense in his image and how they play. I like a lot of things about where Josh is right now. Josh has reduced his running he was 7.5 carries per game for 2 years. He's down around 4 right now, and still very effective doing it. I like those guys to come in there and play well on both sides of the ball. In Jacksonville, they're starting to disappoint me in a division that's all tied up.
Dolphins defense obviously struggled against Buffalo. That's what they do against Buffalo. They get it right this week against the Giants. Do you give the Giants any shot in this one?
Well, no, I don't. I think that the Miami is going to bounce back and be very focused on how they play. And maybe they're reading them the riot act on defense down there. And we see the defense play better, which I think will happen. We know the formula now to beat Miami, and the Giants are not a team that can play to the formula. The formula is sack the guy. When he gets sacked 4 times, his record's 1-4. If you sack him just 3 times, he's got a losing record. The Giants can't do that, and they will lose.
Do you know that's the only game I think them and the Lions are the only game on the schedule in which the point spread's more than 6. Got a lot of close lines this week.
Yeah.
Games that are toss-ups, like Tennessee at Indy, New Orleans at New England, Houston at Atlanta. I mean, do you have a feel about any of those type games?
Well, they are on my list of hardest games to pick. The Houston Atlanta one I care to talk about, though. I know Ritter is 4-0 at home, but I'm throwing that out. I just think what Houston is right now, and I talked to Jerry Hughes yesterday. They played well on defense, and the young quarterback, he's the story of the rookie class when it comes to that. Over 300 a game. I'm going to take Houston. And by the way, it's very possible at the end of the weekend, Houston's in first place in that division.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Stroud's yet to throw an interception, right?
No interceptions. And by the way, here's the other one. In the last 2 weeks, our friend Stroud, no sacks. In the same 2 weeks, 11 sacks of Des Ritter. 11 versus 0 for 2 weeks.
Well, and, Pat, Mark and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. He's doing all this, 300 yards a game with no interceptions, and their tackles have been out most of the year. Last week, they lost their guards during the game. They've actually played games this year with 4 backup offensive linemen.
I know. And there's a lot of teams with offensive line problems, and they're one of the only ones, like Baltimore, that overcome it.
Well, in Seattle, too, to a degree, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So explain that to me, how, we got the Giants who have lost linemen. They can't block anybody. You got other teams that have lost linemen who don't look like they've missed a beat. It's obviously coaching, right?
It's coaching, and athleticism at the quarterback position, I think, really helps. If you look at the situation in Houston and certainly in Baltimore, an athletic quarterback can manipulate this a little bit, and then play calling, which is your point, Mark, about coaching, and put them in a situation. Someone said to me, he goes, well, what do? You get in shotgun and throw fast pass. If you know your line's bad and your quarterback's not a runaround, like Daniel Jones, he's not a runaround. He'll run, and he's a very good runner in the open field. But if you don't have a guy that's that quick twitch escape artist, you're in shotgun throwing slants. That's your game, because you can't go anywhere else.
Okay, we want to save some time to talk about the marquee game of the week. So how about if I just lump all these games together? You've already taken the Ravens over the Steelers. Do you think Cincinnati at Arizona, Philly at the Rams, and the Chiefs at Minnesota, are any of the road favorites in trouble?
I think Cincinnati's always in trouble too. We see with our own eyes that Burrow's healthy. He says he's healthy. Go out. If he's healthy, they'll win the game. But I don't know that he could be healthy yet. When I talked to Dr. Chow, he thought it'd be a few more weeks.
So he does think he'll be healthy at some point, that this won't linger the whole season.
Yes, he thinks he's got that thing on now that's going to prevent him from re-injuring it or hurting him even worse. So he thinks a month of that, he should be healed up and ready to roll. But your question was, who do I worry about this week?
Well, but I mean, those are road favorites, the bigger name teams, if you will. Cincy at Arizona, Philly at the Rams, and the Chiefs at the Vikings. Okay, quickly, the revenge game, Jets and Broncos here. Got a feel?
Yeah, I like Denver in this game. A couple reasons why. Wilson's going to have to show me more than once that he did, now like Fields just did. So is he going to do it? Denver's defense is awful, but Russell Wilson's already thrown 9 touchdown passes. Russell Wilson is not the problem out there, and he's getting better, and he's more in tune, or the coach is more in tune with him. Up at altitude and all that business, I'll take the Denver Broncos in that one. You can have the 2.5 points.
All right, let's get to the marquee game, Dallas and San Francisco. San Francisco's had their number. What's the reason why, Pat?
Well, they're a tremendously balanced football team. They don't make mistakes, and they will function to whatever your weakness is. I think the coach is that brilliant. He'll figure it out, whatever he wants to do. And I like them on the off. First off, I was talking to Coach Carr about this Tuesday. They're the best tackling team in football. There is nobody that form tackles like they do. Everyone's sound as a rock. They don't make mistakes. They'll let you beat yourself. And there's a guy named McCaffrey. They better slow down soon. They won't be in this game. He'll get his 25 touches minimum. But sooner or later, you got to take this thing down. He's on pace for 416 touches. The historian over there, David, understands. You start in the 400 range, you are looking to shorten your career.
Yeah.
Not in this game, though. He'll be getting them.
Yeah, that's Sean Alexander territory, and he was done pretty quickly after a season like that. Is this just a bad matchup for Dallas? The Cowboys love how they match up with the Eagles, yet it seems as if San Francisco's just a little too physical for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of feast or famine with Dak. It's not, he doesn't go off the deep end and play really bad, but he can get into a middle ground. Purdy has not gotten into the middle ground there. And for my friend Mark, who loves point spreads, did you see San Francisco against the spread? They don't even care about the numbers. They're 13-2 in the last 15, and they haven't lost. They're on a really historic winning streak at 14, and I think they'll push that thing a little further. I like San Francisco, and I'd be willing. I hate half points because they always tell me something that's suspicious about the game, but I'd give the 3.5.
Yeah, that 3.5 is that half is there, Pat. There is no doubt.
Yep.
But they've had Dallas's number in the past, and it seems that they will. Well, I think at least you and I are in agreement. We'll wait and see.
Well, and their best corners out in Dallas, and there's a coach, Shanahan, who sees he's got weapons in the receiver group. He will find the matchup he wants back there, and he'll work it.
In 20 seconds, is there a Cowboys matchup when they're on offense that is a big advantage for them?
Do I see it that way? Nothing jumps out at me that's as obvious as the other one going around. Do you see one? Because I don't yet.
The only thing I'm thinking is that they have a number one wide receiver, and I'm not sure the Niners have an elite member of their secondary. They have a good unit, but I don't know if they have an elite member of the secondary, and I think I would force the ball to CeeDee Lamb in this game.
Yep, I would agree with that.
He's Pat Kirwan. NFL Radio's moving the chains 3 to 7 weekdays, 2 to 5 on Saturdays. And he's part of CBS's NFL Today show, and they've got the Super Bowl. Pat joining us once again, courtesy of Pinchers. Tampa to Key West, all points in between Pinchers, because you can't fake fresh.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
We're still 63 degrees in here. I turned it up to about 67.
About 63 in here, it seems. I know it's set at 69. That's cold to me.
Yeah, I understand they've done a lot of painting and they want to keep the humidity out and all that. I get it, but I'm paying for it.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm going to turn it up a few degrees. I'm like, yeah, I've been in hotel rooms. Trust me, 67, 68 still feels cool. I know you guys don't want to sweat when you work. I don't know what to tell you. You may have to.
Saints, Baltimore, Carolina, Houston, Tennessee, Cincinnati.
Well, no, Adam. You're hinting at them like losing to Vandy. No, I don't want to see that. No.
No, I want Napier to work, Adam. Yeah. I really do, because if it doesn't work, you got another 3 years of rebuilding. I don't want that.
Yeah, I want in 2025 Florida State, Miami, and Florida to all be good again, really good again.
Not KW. I've heard the ads and it's intrigued me. I may buy a bottle the next time I'm out.
No, Adam, I get that. I was talking about that. I literally started the conversation by saying, okay, that they've done a lot of painting here, and I know they want it cool to help it dry and keep the humidity out and what have you. I just think 63 is unnecessary. 67, 66.
I would think by now the paint's dry.
It better be. No, man, my hotel rooms are cool.
I laughed. We got, my mom and I shared a hotel room before the surgery on Sunday up in Tampa, and the room was just frigid. And she got in there and she said, "Can I turn this to whatever you want it, Mom? Whatever you need."
What'd you turn it to?
Like 70, 71, okay. Nothing crazy.
It was on like 65, right? When you walked in? Yeah.
I think she might have turned it to 74. So it wasn't, whatever. It's right. One night I just laughed because I walked in the room going, "Oh, we're in a hotel room again."
I think I got all the games right last week that we differed on. I think I finally beat you.
We're back in 30.
I think you did too. Because I did not have. Well, I don't know. Deshaun's not playing when I'm picking Cleveland either.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I mean, I wouldn't have picked Cleveland had I known that.
But you'll beat me this week because I'm going to pick some upsets.
Well, I've got.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network.
22 minutes till the top of the hour, 16 until we are done along the network. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. The Diamond District bonus hour awaits for the 239. Okay, time to pick some games, Saturdays and Sundays. All right, mostly Sundays, but, you know, the headliners on Saturday.
Well, let's run through the Sunday slate. I think we can do this reasonably quickly this week.
Okay, although let me tell you, there are so many spreads that are not just 4 points or less. I mean, under a field goal. I mean, this is like toss-up city.
I got you. But there's a couple less games with the bye week, so let's get after it. Buffalo and Jacksonville. I've got the Bills. I'd love to see Jacksonville win this game, and they're home away from home, but the Bills are playing as well as anybody in the league right now, and Jacksonville's offense is struggling.
Yeah, I will say Jacksonville getting a couple of starters back, particularly along the offensive line. Cam Robinson, after the 4-game suspension, is back. I think Jacksonville plays better than they have been, but not as well as the Bills.
Your Giants take on the Dolphins. That's an easy one. We're both picking Miami in that game.
Yeah, because let's face it, if you're going to beat Miami, you figure you're going to have to score some points, right? I mean, you got to figure the Dolphins are good for. I know they only scored 20 last week, but if you're playing the Dolphins, you got to think, well, hell, they're good for a touchdown a quarter. Can you see the Giants scoring 30 points against anybody? Now?
No.
This, by the way, needs to be a game where the Dolphins defense has a really good performance. If they win like 48-28, I'd be really concerned about that defense. They need to shut this team down.
New England hosts New Orleans. How do you see this one, David? Exactly.
Yeah. The Saints quarterback's not healthy. The Patriots have no weapons. It is Dennis Allen against Bill Belichick. Give me the Patriots.
I'm taking New Orleans.
Okay.
Even with Carr, they have weapons. They have actually guys. They have difference makers. They have guys that you have to defend.
I know.
Judon's out. The best player for the Patriots is out. I'll take New England. I'll take New Orleans.
Okay. I will say this. If New England loses this game, the season's officially over and all hell could break loose there.
You already picked Pittsburgh in your Elite Eight, whatever it was this week. Are you picking them outright to beat Baltimore?
No. I took them in the 4.5. I think the Ravens, Tucker wins it at the end.
I like Baltimore in this game. I don't know. Pittsburgh, I don't see how Pittsburgh gets past 17. Detroit and Carolina. Detroit is a 10-point favorite. I just want to say that again. The Detroit Lions are a double-digit favorite against another NFL team.
I think Carolina could cover if Andy Dalton played, but it looks like they're sticking with Bryce Young. And, it's funny. Carolina says they're in the market for a number 1 wide receiver. Didn't they trade DJ Moore to the Bears? Right?
Right.
What is he again?
A number 1 wide receiver.
Huh. Funny.
Maybe no St. Brown for Detroit. Williams comes back after his suspension got reduced. So he'll play. We'll see how that turns out. Detroit will win. Houston at Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta at home. I just am playing a hunch here that I think Atlanta's going to have a good game, and it's time for C.J. Stroud to throw his first interception of the year. It'll be this week.
If Ritter loses this game, I think he loses his job short term to Heineke. I really do. That's what I think is on the line for Ritter, who's yet to lose a home game. Am I really taking the Houston Texans on the road with 3 backup offensive linemen? I think I am. These are 2 of my favorite coaches in the league, by the way, who I think get more with less than anybody. But yeah, give me Houston.
Tennessee at Indianapolis. I'm taking the Fighting Tannehills in this game. I think that they get it done.
Are you serious? Really? I can't.
It's awful. I can't. I think Tennessee's a better coach team. They have better.
I will say the Colts have looked a lot better than we thought.
Yeah, they have, and they get Taylor back this week. I don't know how much
right.
he's going to play. I'm taking Tennessee.
Yeah, there are track records that I think you can't ignore. The Colts have never been able to stop Derrick Henry. Mark, is Derrick Henry playing this week?
Still playing.
Give me the Titans.
Cincinnati at Arizona. Do you have? Are you taking Arizona to win outright?
Damn right I am. Damn right I am. Vegas is giving you a strong indication. The number's 3. 3. Yes. Yes. And this is just the beginning. Keep going, Mark.
I'm taking Cincinnati, by the way. They
That's
have
fair.
to win. I did pick them to win the Super Bowl. They damn well better beat Arizona. All right, Philadelphia at the Rams. You're doing it again, aren't you?
Damn right I am. No, listen, I know Sirianni said in the victory speech in the locker room, the only thing that matters is we're 4-0. You're not playing very well. I mean, the one game you look like the Eagles in this year was when you dominated the Bucs up front. All right. Now, in theory, you could do the same to Arizona, but I don't know. 3,000-mile trip. You really taking them or the Rams? I mean, I like the Rams. I do. They've played well. 4 games. They've played 4 solid games. The Eagles have more talent. They get Cooper Kupp back.
I love the Eagles on both lines of scrimmage. I think the Eagles will run the ball effectively. Swift has been great this year. Give me the Eagles over the Rams. Kansas City at Minnesota.
I think Minnesota's going to score points against the Chiefs. I do.
I do too.
But I can't see Mahomes having 2 bad games in a row. And he just went from playing a top 5 defense to a bottom 5 defense. Give me Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Love Kansas City in this game. If I didn't already take him in a Survivor League, I would consider it. This is going to be a big win for Kansas City. I think they win and cover this game. Denver and the Jets. I already picked Denver in my picks. I don't know who you're going with. I'm going with Denver. I think the Broncos take care of business against the Jets.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to pick a team quarterbacked by Zach Wilson. I can't believe it. What's worse, that I took Joshua Dobbs in Arizona against my beloved Joe Burrow, or that I'm going to take a team quarterbacked by Zach Wilson against anybody?
The fact that you're going to take Zach Wilson against anybody.
What is wrong with me? Here's the problem, Mark. The Jets defense should destroy Russell Wilson. Seriously, destroy him. I don't think Denver can block them at all. And if Mahomes and the Chiefs could struggle offensively as much as they did against that Jets defense, we really think Denver? I don't. I think that this game is low scoring, okay? And because of it, I think the Jets, they've said there's no pitch limit on Breece Hall. All right, if he's got it going, we're going to feed the beast, and I think he's going to get it going. Sam Howell overcame a 3-score deficit against this Denver defense. Justin Fields and the Bears showed their first pulse of the year against this Denver defense. I'm talking myself into it. I'll take it. I'll take the Jets.
Zach Wilson will throw at least a pick 6. He'll throw 3 interceptions in this game, and Denver will win.
I could actually see the first 2 things and the Jets still win, but that's a whole other story.
Dallas at San Francisco. The Niners, to me, have too many weapons, too many ways to beat you, And I don't trust Dak in a big moment. I don't trust him here. San Francisco continues their dominance over the Cowboys. Give me the Niners.
Dallas played them really tough in that playoff game last year. Pollard got hurt in the game. The Dallas offense was a bit of a mess in that game, but defensively, that was 9-9 going to the fourth. Dallas defensively stood up to San Francisco last year, but offensively, they had nothing for him. Will a healthy Pollard, will C.D. Lamb get the ball to 88? I like San Francisco, but man, if you're Dallas, this is the team, baby. Not Philadelphia. You think you can beat Philly. You've beaten Philly. You've scored points against Philly. This is the team that you've made your personnel changes to match up with. Mark, I think the difference is I think the Niners defensive line will get to Dak more than the Cowboys defensive front will get to Brock.
And Monday night, Green Bay and Vegas. I'm taking Green Bay. I think Vegas is a bad football team, and I think it'll get proven out. I think Green Bay is a little bit better than people are giving them credit for. I like the Packers on Monday night.
As of yesterday, Garoppolo was still not out of concussion protocol. I would pay very close attention to today. If he doesn't practice today, I doubt he plays Monday. Here's what I'm counting on, though, Mark. If they don't throw the ball 37 times to Davante Adams, he is going to demand a trade. Davante can't handle losing to a Jordan Love-led Packers team. They have got to feed the beast or else. Davante with a late touchdown. I'll take the Raiders.
All right, some big games Saturday. Let's start with the noon kick. Oklahoma in Texas. Do you think Oklahoma can score enough to beat Texas?
It's funny. I don't know how high scoring this game's going to be. Everybody thinks it's going to be 38-31. I think it might be 20 points less than that. I think this game might be in the mid-20s. Texas has already proven that they're legit. Oklahoma has not. Until Oklahoma does, I'll take Texas.
I'm with you. I'll take Texas. I hope you're wrong. I picked the over in this game earlier. Missouri and LSU, pretty sneaky good game. LSU's got to find themselves. They've got to win this game, and I think Missouri's pretty good. They got their hands full.
I think LSU defensively being embarrassed does not bode well for Missouri. Also, one of the most beloved members of that defense was just diagnosed with brain cancer. I think you will get a much more inspired effort from LSU than you're thinking. I'll take those Tigers to beat the other Tigers.
I'm with you. I do think the announcement of the player with the brain cancer is going to rally the entire team of LSU to win the game for him 100%. We both picked Alabama earlier, laying the point against A&M. I think Alabama with the running quarterback is going to drive A&M nuts. Running quarterbacks are just an element that you can't defend. And as good as they are up front, he's going to find holes and find ways to get yards for Alabama.
But he started this game last year. A&M saw him last year and defended him really well. The problem with A&M was they were playing their own inexperienced quarterback with freshman tackles, and it still went down to the last play of the game. Mark, I think this is low scoring. I do think there's a chance for a non-offensive touchdown in this game. A&M scored 2 of those last week. I think ultimately, though, because Alabama will not throw the ball and A&M will, that A&M will throw the fourth quarter interception and lose the game.
Georgia and Kentucky. I want to see if the Dogs can run the football because so far they've not had really much of a running game. They threw it a little better last week. I think they'll be able to throw it against Kentucky, but they're going to try to run the football. I don't know if they can.
No, but they can throw it. And the quarterback's good enough. He is. He showed last week. That's not an easy place to play. He handled it very well. They scored just about every time they had the ball in the last 20 minutes of the game. Bowers is uncoverable. I think Georgia wins. I'm not sure they cover. Okay, but I think they win.
You think Louisville's got anything for Notre Dame?
I do, although they're the shakiest 5-0 team out there, quite frankly. They've not looked good in most of their games. Notre Dame, this is a run. Ohio State on the road at undefeated Duke, on the road at undefeated Louisville, USC next week. I mean, get in line and criticize Notre Dame's schedule against everybody else, folks. I think Louisville plays them, the proverbial tough. Mark, what's it, 30 in a row against ACC teams for Notre Dame? Yeah, until somebody beats them, I don't think it's Louisville.
I want to see how Notre Dame's offense looks. I'd like to see them score a little bit because teams have been able to score in Louisville. I'd like to see Notre Dame's offense get going. I think they win the game, but I'd like to see them get into the upper 20s for a change.
And you and I both think Michigan and Ohio State, that they take care of business in the Big Ten. We think maybe Maryland hangs around for a while against the Buckeyes, but
Florida and Florida State and Miami are all going to take care of business. That's just big numbers. So there you have it, a run through the games this weekend. Miller and Moulton, the Diamond District bonus hour is next right here on the Florida Sports Network.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
When choosing something of high value and personal significance, such as a diamond, you want to make sure you're shopping with the best. And the best when it comes to GIA certified diamonds and diamond jewelry is not online. It's not in the malls. And it's not with any of the new pop-up jewelry stores trying to make a go of it here in Southwest Florida. The best place to buy diamonds is with my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, who have made Southwest Florida their home for over 20 years now. The largest selection of GIA certified diamonds is with the Diamond District. The only place you'll find diamonds 8 to 10% over cost is with the Diamond District. America's top bridal designers have chosen the Diamond District to represent their engagement rings exclusively in Southwest Florida. Simply put, the best selection, experience, and best prices are with Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail
The
East.
law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again. Yeah, hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around and get it.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Hey, David Dorsey's written a book about the City of Palms basketball tournament.
Okay.
And so we're going to have him on, I think, Tuesday the 17th, I think.
Okay.
At 9 o'clock. Actually, Felipe should buy the book. I think he'd love it. But the history of the City Palms tournament. That's the day the book comes out, too. So
available at FSW's bookstore.
I actually think it's available on Amazon.
I made a joke, David. I mean, come on. I know you pretend you don't see it all
That's
the
quality, though. That's quality.
Because it's remarkable to write a book. I don't know. I mean, this is not a subject matter that I think would spread nationwide.
No, not at all. I don't know if it'll spread from 9:01 to 9:12, but we'll do our best. Curious if we hear from our fearless leader today about anything.
Well, when he gets my invoice and it's got a talent fee and commissions, I'm guessing I'll hear from him.
Yeah, it's true. I have to send him an invoice too.
Because we were both getting 3 for the fantasy football thing. That's how I sold that.
Well, also, I'm supposed to get, I guess he has to reimburse Beasley, and then Beasley sends me the money or sends him the money. He sends it to me about the Access ads.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the Diamond District bonus hour. Miller and Moulton, thanks so much for being with us. Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Hope you've had a good week. Thanks for ending your week with us on this Football Friday.
Football Friday.
There you go. You channel your inner Butkus there, Mark. Give it a little more growl, more sandpaper in it. I like it. I like it. Of course, mentioned did Butkus after his passing yesterday at the age of 80. The Bears responded, even though we don't think they did it for Butkus, but Bears get their first win of the year. And is that the beginning of an upset weekend of football? I say yes.
And you say it's going to be that way on Sunday more than Saturday. I mean, we just went through the college games. You're pretty much going with favorites on Saturday, but Sunday you think all hell could break loose.
Yeah, I really do. First off, there are a lot of teams got a lot of issues. I don't know that even Kansas City in Minnesota. I mean, look at what the spread for that game is. Isn't it like 3.5? I mean, think about that. I mean, right now, most people, if we gave them our proverbial $20, don't you think most people would say, yeah, the Chiefs are going back to the AFC Championship game? Okay. Now you're playing the Vikings, who a week ago were winless, who have one of the 5 worst defenses in the league, against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are barely favored?
Well, the odds are the Vikings will be leading when this game starts, at least the second half. It's a 4:25 kick, 3:25 local time.
You're not.
It'll get dark around 5 this time of year in Minnesota, right?
Goodness sakes.
David, is that accurate? I mean, when you lived in that part of the world, by 5:30, 6 o'clock, it should be dark.
Maybe a little later. I don't think we've had daylight savings yet, but okay. I know what you're saying, though. In the third quarter, it'll be, quote, prime time. And who's the quarterback for the Vikings?
Kirk Cousins. And I'm a Kirk Cousins guy. I actually think this game is a high-scoring game.
I do,
I think
too.
it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think this is 38-31. I do. This is and you picked an over-under in Texas, Oklahoma. If I were to pick an over-under this weekend, I think I'd pick Chiefs-Vikings.
52.5 is the number. The Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah. So basically they're saying, 28-24, give or take a half point. I mean, come on. This game's over that. I mean, this game's got to be at least 10 points over that. Come on. 32-28 at least. I don't know. I know the Chiefs defense has been playing pretty well. I get it. But Justin Jefferson, I'm sorry. Seriously, you could choose all the wide receivers in the NFL. Who you picking?
Jefferson.
Yeah, damn right, Char. Damn right, Char.
Maybe Hill.
Really? No, and I'm being serious. That's an interesting. And listen. We all know why it. The best, fastest receiver in the league. Tough to criticize taking Tyreek Hill. But that's interesting. You take little Tyreek over. Man, there's just no spot on the field. You can't get the ball to Jefferson. I love him. He would want to negotiate with me if I was running the Vikings. Okay. I don't know if I could say no to him about anything. Honestly. Sir, would you get me breakfast? Yes, I would. I want $30 million a year. Okay, what would you like with your eggs?
And look at Jamar Chase should be in this conversation, but the fact of the matter is that they've looked so bad, we're not including them. It's not his fault that his quarterback's playing poorly and that they can't block. That they can't block for the quarterback to throw anything more than 7 yards down the field right now.
Well, Mark, all you have to do is listen to Jamar Chase after the game last week. What did he say?
I'm open on every play.
I am always open. That's like the shooter in basketball. Give me the ball. I love guys like that. It's my pitfall. It is. That's okay.
It is your pitfall, but the fact of the matter is every year there are more of them.
Yes, it really is.
The receivers that are coming into the game are really good right now.
But it's a fascinating weekend. How important do you view when you're 2-2? The team that gets to 3-2 versus the team that falls to 2-3. I mean, we talked about it in the AFC. We got a bunch of 2-2 teams. We only have 4 teams in the whole conference that are better than 2-2. So how important? Colts, Titans.
Particularly with Jacksonville getting off to a lackluster start. Everybody thought that was their division. Think about it. They could have lost to Buffalo by the time these 1:00 games kick.
Technically, Atlanta this morning is the 7 seed in the NFC. They actually win the tiebreaker. But there are 6 teams in the NFC, 3-1 or better. But Houston at Atlanta. I mean, put it this way. To the team that loses that game, do you think they'll make the playoffs? Aren't these the games? This is how you have a New York Giants 9-7-1 season. This is how you do it. These are the games that you win throughout the season. You're not that good. You're not. Yet you manage to win almost all the winnable games. And at the end of the year, you go, I'll be damned. They're in the playoffs. How'd that happen? I don't know. They're not that good. Now people think they are. I mean, come on, Mark. I said it all year last year with the Giants. I go, they're not that good.
And they weren't, and they won a road playoff game.
Right. Against a 13-win team. And now look at them. They're still not that good. It's a crazy league. Blank happens every year. I mean, think about it. Imagine if the Colts and the Texans win this week, and they're both 3-2. Do you know where they drafted? I mean, damn. That'd be pretty impressive, wouldn't it? 2 rookie quarterbacks, both be 3-2, at worst tied for first. Damn. Be impressive. And let me tell you, it'd be sobering for Tennessee. Tennessee loses to Indianapolis. Don't you have to think, holy blank, this Tannehill Henry era is done.
And like I said, Jacksonville, I think, is going to lose. They're going to be 2-3. They've already lost to Houston. What are the Jags going to be thinking? They thought this division was a foregone conclusion when the year started.
I did.
Who didn't?
I only have.
Who really didn't?
There were like 3 people in Nashville who thought the Titans were going to be decent, competitive.
Right. But I mean, you looked at the AFC North. There were teams picking the Browns to win, people picking the Steelers to win, people picking the Ravens. I mean, every team in that division was picked.
Correct.
By prognosticators.
Right.
Everyone.
Right.
Nobody was taking Indianapolis. Nobody was taking Houston.
No, it was tough to find anybody to take a team other than Jacksonville. Right. They were as big a lock in their division as the Chiefs have been in the West. And, when's the last time the Chiefs didn't win the West? It was 8 years ago. So, I love these weekends. These are the games, and these games are not going to be pretty either. And yet seasons will teeter in one direction or the other. Come on, how many times do we see it in which you look at a team at the end of the year and you go, wow. And then you go back and you go, well, when they were 2-2, they beat the other 2-2 team. And then when they were 4-3, they beat another 4-3 team. And that's next thing you know, as Hank Stram once said, you're matriculating the ball down the field. So, but the game within the game that interests me, Mark, is what the hell's going on with the Dolphins defense? There's apparently Vic Fangio is trying to put square pegs into his round hole. And it's not working against the good offenses. Now, they're not facing one this weekend, but they're going to have to beat the good offenses to go where it is that they want to go. And when they have faced 2 good offenses this year, they've been lit up for 84 points. And so I think people are trying to figure out, are those square pegs ever going to be able to fit in those round holes? Or is Vic going to have to get flexible here? I mean, he came out in the preseason and said, this personnel doesn't really fit my system. Yet, Mark, all he's doing is running his system. And Mike McDaniel has said he's in charge of the defense. And this is when I wonder, is Mike going to have a conversation with Vic and go, Vic, you got to choose?
Bradley Chubb came over in that trade last year. I've not seen anything what was expected of him at all.
Hell, there have been games this year, Mark, in which I wonder, is he active?
I think he has 1 sack on the year.
Think of the pressure on that Dolphins defensive line. This just in. Seattle got another sack. 11 sacks of Daniel Jones. The right tackle for the Giants was a turnstile in that game. Evan Neal, the first rounder from Alabama.
And he took it really well.
Yeah, right, exactly. He blamed the fans and yelled at them.
Boo me more.
Yeah. Okay, they will. By the way, they will. Don't you worry about that. So that's kind of a game within the game that I'm looking for here, because the Dolphins are going to, please. Are you kidding? They're going to score 38 minimum. They'll beat the Giants. That's But is the defense going to look decent? I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just saying.
And David, I'm about to do something that I've never done. I've been in Survivor, Suicide, whatever league you want to call it. Death Pool, whatever it is. I'm going to take the Lions this week in one of the ones that I'm in.
Whoa!
I have 2 live picks, if you know what I mean. I'm taking the Dolphins with my 1 live pick. I'm taking the Lions with my other live pick.
They are a 10-point favorite against Carolina at home.
Miller and Moulton. Interesting weekends of games. We'll get more into the Saturday games in the Diamond District bonus hour. Coming up next right here on Miller and Moulton.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Jason and Todd invite you to join them Saturday, October 7th and Sunday the 8th as Veraccio, one of America's top bridal designers, joins the Diamond District with their entire collection of stunning engagement and wedding rings. Veraccio has always been on the forefront of design, and during this event, they'll unveil their newest and much anticipated exclusive designer fashion jewelry collection. Jason and Todd are excited to meet you personally Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. And with your purchase of any Veraccio jewelry priced at $2,500 or more, you'll receive a free pair of 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings valued at $1,500. Jason and Todd are also offering 12 months interest-free financing. This event kicks off the fall season at the Diamond District in a big way. With your Veraccio purchase of $2,500 or more, you'll receive free 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings. Jason and Todd look forward to meeting you and welcoming you to their Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
So my car battery when I left yesterday was dead here in the parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice on a car that's not even 2 years old. Fortunately, it was under warranty and got it fixed for free, but I got it jumped here and then
right.
Got that taken care of. But the guy from AAA came over. It's my house had died again, so I called AAA because I have AAA, and the guy came over and he kept looking at me. He goes, "Mark Miller." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Are you in like local government?" He's like, "The name just sounds so familiar." And I kept letting him go. And I go, I do a talk radio show. What kind of show? I said, sports show. He goes, "No, I don't do sports."
What?
No, guy doesn't need, no. Nope, I don't do sports. So I found one of those people that's not watching the Super Bowl yesterday.
I am always astonished when I have a full conversation with a male and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I hate sports." Like, really? Why? Is it a family thing? I don't.
Yeah, it is. It's how you were raised.
I mean, yeah, it's why, Just sad.
Yes, they do, Shimko. There's no doubt there. And that's not coming for another month, maybe.
Ten seconds.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes after the hour, the bonus hour, the Diamond District bonus hour. It's been a month, and they hadn't had, big specials, anything, out of the norm. And they said, well, it's been a month. I mean,
Exactly.
You got to do something.
Gotta
Why?
do something.
Well, it's been a month.
That's right. And the Viraggio designers are going to be at the Diamond District this weekend with their entire collection, the top bridal designer. And here's the deal. You spend $2,500 on any Viraggio jewelry. You get a free pair of 1 carat total diamond weight stud earrings valued at $1,500. You spend $2,500, you're going to get $1,500 for free. That's the deal this weekend.
Wow. Kind of like the sound of that free. That's better than like what we do, or at least used to do, the whole free t-shirt thing. $1,500 for free. That sounds better than that.
I agree.
Hey, I should have brought this up earlier, but South Florida has a really big game Saturday.
Yes, they do.
It's the type of game in which if you win it, you're probably going to a bowl game. Yeah. Uh-huh. They're 3-2. They're on the road as a favorite against Trent Dilfer's UAB Blazers.
Did you see Trent's out-of-body experience on the sidelines last week? So I think they're playing Tulane, right?
Yes.
UAB's playing Tulane. It's a close game. They're in the game. Yep. Tulane's got a 4th down, 4th and 2, something like that. And the South Florida team gets a penalty for an illegal substitution, having 12 men on the field on the 4th down play. Tulane gets first down by penalty. And Dilfer goes nuts on his defensive coaches. On 2 different defensive coaches. Went absolutely ballistic.
And I'll be curious as to how the staff, handles that going forward. I mean, he won't lose the team. They've actually played. They have a tough schedule this year. I mean, they played Georgia tough. It was 28-14 mid-third quarter before faltering, fading against Georgia. They had the lead throughout much of the first 3 quarters against Tulane. Do you know, by the way, if the playoff started this week, next year's 12-team college football playoff? Because right now, Mark, it looks like they're sticking with 6 and 6 for the first 2 years. They can't get agreement. They need, apparently by the bylaws, they need unanimous agreement to change 6 and 6 to 5 and 7.
I have to be honest. How would you ever give them that if you're another conference?
Well, and apparently 2 or 3 of the smaller conferences went, no. So my understanding is if what's the standings right now and the rankings, if we were to put next year's 12-team playoff to how things are right now, remember, the Pac-12 goes away next year.
Right.
So that's one of the 6. So we're operating next year under the assumption that there are 4 Power 5 conferences that get automatic bids and 2 of the group of 5s that as of right now would get bids. Now, we think they're going to desperately try to change that, but the last time 2 weeks ago they tried to change it, they didn't have the votes. Mark, do you know right now, I believe Fresno State and Tulane.
No. Fresno State and Washington State from the Mountain West. See what I did there?
I did. But technically, are they even in a conference yet for next year?
Well, I'm just having a little fun, but
that's nice, though. That's solid. That's solid. But isn't Fresno State in the Mountain West? Are we sure they're beating Fresno State?
Good point.
Fresno State's won like 14 in a row. I think they have, outside of Georgia, I think they have the nation's longest winning streak. But anyway, so South Florida's 3-2. All right. And they're at UAB. Have you seen South Florida's schedule? I mean,
I have to be honest, David. I have not.
I understand why. It's South Florida. They've won 4 games the last 3 years. Only 1 against a Power 5 team. I get it. Nobody's looked at their schedule.
I pay attention on Saturdays to them because Coach Golish comes on every other week, and I want to keep an eye on what they're doing without just reading articles for it.
Well, they played Alabama really tough.
They did.
Okay. They followed that up by beating Rice and going on the road, spotting Navy 2 touchdowns, and coming back to win by 2 touchdowns. And now they're a road favorite against UAB. They're 3-2. If they win, they host 1-win FAU and then go to 0-5 UConn. I'm telling you, if South Florida wins tomorrow, they're going to go to a bowl. He could be the conference coach of the year.
I will say I love the over in the UAB South Florida game because they don't stop. Neither team stops anybody. They both average near 30 points a game. The number reflects that, by the way, because the number's 70. And I still think it goes over.
So I'm just saying, they're putting a lot of money into this program. You and I, from the beginning, have thought this guy's legit. They're building a new stadium on campus.
Yeah, but you can't take our word for it because we've thought the last 3 we've thought every coach there was going to work. Every coach had a resume and a belief that we said this should work here. We're
Well,
suckers from South Florida.
We definitely thought Skip Holtz would work. We thought it was the perfect hire. Okay. This last guy from Clemson, we couldn't understand why he took the job. Okay. His resume said it would work, but it was like, hold on a second. You were the offensive coordinator at Clemson and you left for this job? I mean, we honestly, we questioned.
We interviewed him. Dabo's the one that told him to take the job.
Right. Okay. And then, as it was not working out, we wondered, did Dabo just want to get rid of him? I mean, man, but he took him back anyway. So I'm just saying, I mean, UCF's a road favorite in conference play. USF, they don't go by that anymore. They should. South Florida is a road favorite against UAB. Unbelievable weekend we have here.
South Florida wins this game. You say they're going to a bowl.
They'll be 4-2.
No, I know.
They'll be 4-2. They still got Charlotte on their schedule, who's terrible. UConn's winless. Okay, they've got 2 more wins on this schedule. They win this game, they're going to go 7-5. Okay, they won 4 games the last 3 years. They went 1-11 last year. You take 1-11 to 7-5, you're coach of the year.
Without question.
Especially when one of the 5 is Alabama. I mean, come on, you knew you were going to lose that game.
And Alex Golish, after that game, we loved him. Asked him if it was a moral victory. No, we lost. Yeah. Only losers say they're moral victories.
Right, losers. He went losers. He went Dale Earnhardt, the late Dale Earnhardt. Oh, we're all in on him.
Yes, we are.
I mean, don't know what conference they're going to be. Well, hell, they're going to be in the ACC in a couple years. It's another reason why we're jumping on this bandwagon. They're going to get back in a Power 5 conference.
That SMU South Florida game is going to mean something, damn it.
When South Florida goes to Stanford, everything's on the line.
Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening. Florida Sports Network.
The Diamond District.
Jason and Todd invite you to join them Saturday, October 7th and Sunday the 8th as Veraccio, one of America's top bridal designers, joins the Diamond District with their entire collection of stunning engagement and wedding rings. Veraccio has always been on the forefront of design, and during this event, they'll unveil their newest and much anticipated exclusive designer fashion jewelry collection. Jason and Todd are excited to meet you personally Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. And with your purchase of any Veraccio jewelry priced at $2,500 or more, you'll receive a free pair of 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings valued at $1,500. Jason and Todd are also offering 12 months interest-free financing. This event kicks off the fall season at the Diamond District in a big way. With your Veraccio purchase of $2,500 or more, you'll receive free 1-carat total diamond weight stud earrings. Jason and Todd look forward to meeting you and welcoming you to their Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here. Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around again.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Live Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Watch this. David? Oh, you won't answer. Come on. Oh, must be a big text. Halloween's on a Tuesday. He'll be back. Yeah, he will. What, Grubhub? Are you kidding me? Have you not seen the Snoop ads? So, David, question for you. I was just asking Felipe, since Halloween is a Tuesday this year, and I know your daughter's passion for Halloween.
Right.
And your wife's passion for dressing the 5 of you be trick-or-treating as a family in costume together this year?
No, because I don't think I'll get back in time. The Monday game is in Detroit, and I think they will hit the street earlier than I can hit it with them.
Gotcha.
But
no directs out of Detroit to Jacksonville?
I don't think so.
Jesus, what a
I have to look at that.
That is something.
Hey, don't get me started. I didn't want to move here.
That is just amazing that Detroit doesn't have a direct to a city in Florida. I'm being serious when I say that.
I'll have to look it up because I've already booked it. So if they did, I've already booked it.
Because Felipe is basically at the mercy of his girlfriend for what his Halloween costume is.
You're damn right. And you want to be at the mercy of your girlfriend.
Unless, of course, she's going to make you dress up as a cat.
Right. Let's see. Halloween. There we go.
All right, we got a minute here. Mark, let's see if I can nail these 2 segment opens for you.
There we go.
Baby steps.
There is one nonstop flight on a Halloween from Detroit to Jacksonville, and it's at 8:41 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, the flight I booked is probably around 1 o'clock through Atlanta. It gets me in a little before 6. That's probably the one I booked. But I will wear a costume on Monday Night Football again. I just don't know which one yet.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour, 16 until we are out of here. The show and our week will be done. Hope you've had a great one. Thanks for spending part of it with us. And Hey, have a terrific weekend, will you? First full weekend of October. So there. Baseball playoffs tomorrow,
Let's get ready for those.
I will recap most of you, including our co-host, as to what happened over the weekend on Monday.
Now, I'll be getting up in the morning looking at baseball scores again. It's a habit that dies hard. Monday was the first day in a while I didn't have to do it. But I'll get back into my habits.
By the way, quickly. So, we had the 4 wild card series, and I went 2-2. How'd you do? Did you go 3-1?
No. It's
we both picked the Rays, so we missed that.
I had the Phillies.
I got the Twins right and the Brewers wrong.
I was 2-2 because I got the Brewers right and the Twins wrong.
Okay.
Because I picked Toronto.
So, okay.
All right. So quickly, Rangers, Orioles, who you got?
I like Baltimore, but I think it's a pretty competitive series. I think the days off. Texas only has 2 starters, but they're going to start them in games 2 and 3. So I think they make a series. I don't think Texas's bullpen pitches as well against Baltimore as it did against Tampa Bay. So I like Baltimore.
I'm rooting for Baltimore, therefore I'm going to pick Baltimore. I think they're deeper at this point. I think the Batista injury is going to rear its ugly head at some point in the playoffs, but not this series. Minnesota and Houston.
I'm picking the Twins. I am. I think they actually, in modern baseball, they match up well. They hit home runs, and their bullpen is lights out. That's modern day baseball.
I felt so guilty being told to not. This whole Minnesota nice thing's been thrown at me in the last couple of days, David.
Let's see where it would be.
They're all coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The car carriers are just like one after another on I-75 right now.
Yep. I'll tell you what, if the Twins get a split in Houston, I really like them in this series. I do. It's 2-2-1, by the way. Best of 5 in the division round. Best of 5. Houston's not as deep in the lineup and rotation as they have been in recent years. If you're going to get them, this is the year to get them. And I like the Twins.
I'll take Houston reluctantly. I think this is going to be a really good series. I'm going to take the Braves over the Phillies because the Braves are winning the World Series. But this is a series that should be really exciting. I'm worried about the Braves starting pitching because it's banged up right now. And can Philly take advantage of a Braves pitching staff that is a little less than what it's been all year long?
Well, and Atlanta's got a big edge in starting pitching in game 1. So they better take advantage of it. Phillies, by the way, they're that fighter that walks into the ring going, yeah, I know, you're bigger, you're better, what have you. I've been waiting for this fight for a year. Okay. I'm glad we're fighting. You don't scare me a bit.
All I can think about that is that my uncle played football for the University of Michigan. And this is when State was good. He was a guard. First play of the game is sophomore year. He gets knocked out cold by the Michigan State D lineman. Wakes up at halftime. All he thought about. A year later comes up. He lines up across from the same guy. He goes, I've been thinking about you for a whole year. My Uncle Ken woke up at halftime again.
Who did he line up against? Bubba Smith? Oh, my goodness.
And finally, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. The Dodgers pitching's reeling, but they're better than the Diamondbacks, and they're going to win the series.
Yeah, they are. But this one actually could be, this could go 5. All right. The Dodgers pitching is a mess. This will be the toughest series for the Braves in the National League, by the way. All right. They'll get past the Dodgers/Diamondbacks much easier than I think they get past the Phillies.
It's time for someone to take back this segment, if for no other reason than to stop David from talking about Meghan and Harry. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
Look at that. Baseball in the bonus hour. We go back to 1882 because it was today in 1882 that the first World Series baseball game was played. The Cincinnati Red Stockings beat the Chicago White Stockings 4-0. Edison shows his first motion picture today in 1889. Cy Young's final appearance today in 1911. He would lose in his 906th game as a pitcher. Ruth hits 3 home runs in a World Series game, the first ever do so today in 1926. The original jazz singer, released today in 1927 with Al Jolson as the star. It was the first film with a soundtrack. Today in 41, the Yankees beat the Brooklyn Dodgers for a 4-1 series lead. It was the Yankees' 5th title in 6 years and their 9th overall. Today in 45, the Billy Goat game. The tavern owner brought the Billy Goat to Game 4 of the World Series. He was escorted out, and we all know the rest of the story. Today in 47, the Yankees beat the Dodgers to win the World Series in 7, their 11th championship. Today in 63, the Dodgers edged the Yankees for a sweep. Sandy Koufax, the series MVP. Jim Palmer, at the age of 20, is the youngest to record a World Series shutout as Baltimore beats the Dodgers 6-0 in Game 2 today in 1966.
I think that was Koufax's last game. Because I don't think he started Game 1, I think because of a Jewish holiday, and he gets beat in Game 2, and he retired after the World Series. Could be wrong about Koufax, but I know that he retired after the World Series.
Today in 77, the Yankees win the pennant by scoring 3 in the 9th to beat the Royals 5-3 in Game 5. Pope John Paul II is the first pope to visit the White House, meeting with President Carter today in 79. Phil Niekro wins his 300th game today in 85. Jordan retires for the first time today in 93. Pop Idol debuts in the UK today. It would start the whole Idol franchise in 2001. And in 2010, Roy Halladay pitches only the second postseason no-hitter, beating the Reds 4-0 in Philly. Bruno Sammartino born today. But one big birthday in your world today, David. It's not Tony Dungy's 68th. Elizabeth Shue's 60 years old today, David.
I just need a moment.
I figured you would. Figured we just let the music play. All right, what did I miss?
Well, you were talking about something, and it had to do with the World Series, and I was trying to think, was it Babe Ruth in 26?
Yes, hit 3 home runs.
Right, he did it again in 28. By the way, they assassinated Anwar Sadat today in 81 because he tried to bring peace to the Middle East, that bastard. I mean, why the hell would you want that? Okay, not only that, he let the Shah of Iran die peacefully in his country instead of sending him back to Iran so they could literally hang him. Okay. Really decent human being won the Nobel Peace Prize. So of course they assassinated him. I'm sorry. Did I express my opinion there?
Not at all, David.
Okay,
we don't know how you think about this subject whatsoever.
No, good. Good. Well, it's good to see 40-something years later we've made a lot of progress. Okay.
You've heard folks elsewhere mock Florida is gonna Florida. Well, Mark Miller sees it differently. He calls it the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
I don't know. I think the good, the bad, and the ugly was all embedded in that last 30 seconds of the last segment.
Is there anything that I said that was not true?
No.
Okay, thank you.
We go to Yosemite for the good, where Joshua Haveman is an Air Force captain. He was off duty doing some hiking when he saw another hiker slip and fall as many 80 feet down a ledge. So he did what an Air Force captain would do. He rescued the man, going down some very slippery rock, harsh winds. But the seasoned climber and someone trained in life or death situations, well, all the work paid off as he saved the man's life. For the bad, we go to Australia, where a man sat down to do what he does, And when he went to reach for the toilet paper, there was a python that had wrapped itself around the roll of toilet paper.
First off, you know how these stories drive me nuts. Secondly, how do you not notice the python before you sit down? Seriously. Has there ever been a roll of toilet paper in a bathroom that you've ever been in that you could possibly have missed the python wrapped around it?
When you got to go, you got to go.
No, I understand that.
You
but
sit
when you
down,
walk,
you drop down, you plop yourself down on the toity, and then all of a sudden the python's there staring at you.
What do you mean all of a sudden? Like you walk in and you don't see the python?
Depends on what you had for lunch. Finally, the ugly. We go to Lauderhill, Florida, where authorities are searching for a man who was seen on a home surveillance video pulling the goalie.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Man was completely naked from the waist down when the ring cam noticed a man at the front porch of a home. He made his way to the backyard where he continued to fondle himself and then took off before authorities made their way to the home. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, October the 6th, 2023.
Can I go back to Sadat being assassinated and the fallout? No? Golly. Man, you're killing me. Thank goodness Elizabeth Shue is 60 today.
60?
Jersey hot, baby. Jersey hot. Became a soccer mom, you know.
I've not run into her at the field yet.
I tell you, I'd be a volunteer coach in that league. For how long? As long as her kids are playing in it. We got 2 college football games tonight.
Real football games, too. Power 5 schools and everything.
Yeah, no. Big 10, Big 12.
On Friday nights.
Yes. Major networks and everything.
This has got the coaches really enjoying these games because what they really want to do is play football on Friday night. College coaches love playing on Friday nights.
Right, because apparently in some parts of the country, they play high school football on Friday nights, and coaches and their staffs want to be out recruiting. Kansas State's in Stillwater to take on Mike Gundy and the Cowboys.
They're an 11.5-point favorite on the road.
Apparently, there's a lot of dissension within the Oklahoma State team. They kind of sort of held it together last week. All right, but they lost by only 7 at Iowa State. All right, and they have had 2 weeks, Mark, to prepare for this. They had a bye before this game. Just saying. Big Ten, that's 7:30 on ESPN, the K-State Oklahoma State game. The Big Ten game, FS1, pair of 2 and 3 teams, Illinois hosting Nebraska. Do the Illini respond in the wake of Dick Butkus's passing the way the Bears responded last night? Do we think his passing means anything to anyone in that locker room?
The head coach.
Right, who probably got to know him, Brett Bielema.
That would be enough for me. These are 2 bad football teams.
What are you talking about? Nebraska only lost by 38 last week to Michigan. I mean, come on now.
Right, and Illinois lost by about that many to Purdue.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how Illinois is favored. Maybe it's because they're playing Nebraska and somebody has to be. But, I mean, shouldn't this game be pick'em in honor of Nebraska and Illinois? Shouldn't the game be pick'em? So, I mean, Illinois' 2 wins this year. They beat Toledo at home by 2, and they beat FAU at home by 6.
Correct.
But I don't know. I will say they're starting to grumble a little bit in Champaign, even though Bielema had a nice year last year. I think he needs this one more than the other guy who's, 5 games into a 7-year contract. But hey, thanks for listening. Have a great Friday and a fun weekend, and we'll do it again Monday, I promise.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense,